Clyde One's Super Scoreboard podcast with Taggart's Jaguar, part of the Lookers family. Be ready for any journey. Book now for service and repairs.
Destiny has called on Rangers. The Liverpool supporters erupt again.
Taking on Klopp and the Cop. We're with Rangers at Anfield. Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
And here come the teams at Ibrox. Sandra McLean.
Yeah, well, we just had a rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone there, which, as you can imagine, didn't go down too well with the Rangers supporters. They tried their best to drown it out, but they couldn't manage it with all the noise of the home support. But this is a historic venue, two clubs steeped in history, and amazingly the first competitive match between these two teams. Could be a really special night we're in for at Anfield. Somewhere between 2,500 Rangers fans over to the stand in my left. They've got a blue out, they've got flares out as well at the moment, and they're hoping to see, well, the first Champions League goal that Rangers have scored this season. They're hoping for the first Champions League points of the season as well, but there was those big defeats to Ajax and Napoli, and it doesn't get any easier tonight. You look at the Liverpool team as well: Alisson, Virgil van Dijk, and a scary looking front four as well: Jota, Salah, Diaz and Nunez. Plenty of goals in that team. Rangers will be hoping that they've got some of their own. The most likely source will be Alfredo Morelos, drafted back in, picked ahead in form Antonio Chola, but he's no the big European goals. Alfredo Morelos, that he can do it in one of the biggest arenas of them all. And what a place to make first champion start at the age of 18 for Leon King in that back three. He's been substituted on in the last two group games, and he's in tonight. Just over a week he was playing for Scotland under-21s against Northern Ireland's under-21s. Now he's up against some of the best talent in Europe. And speaking of young Scottish talent as well, a quick for Calvin Ramsey, because with one Scottish fullback missing the game through injury, and Andy Robertson, another to the Liverpool squad for the very first. He picked up an injury in the summer after arriving from Aberdeen, and he'll be keen to make his mark at Anfield over the last couple of seasons. Also a big game for boyhood Liverpool fan John Lundstrom as well. You know, he's played here before for Sheffield United, but I'm sure playing here in the Champions League will have been a dream of his. Maybe not wearing the same coloured shirt that he had in teams, but I'm sure it'll be a game that he's really looking forward to. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst has mentioned just how big a step up this is, this competition, from what they've experienced in recent years. The results in the opening two groups that, but supporters I spoke to today, they still had confidence, they still had optimism that they could come here and they could get something from that game. A lot of that came from the fact that you know, Liverpool have had a poor start to the campaign, but what Rangers back in Champions League experience in recent years, Liverpool have that in abundance. They've reached 3 of the last 5 finals. Many of these players have been there, they've done it at the highest level on the biggest stage. It's now up to the Rangers players to see if they can step up to that challenge. I'll give you a recap of the teams as well, as we're just about to get on in a couple of minutes. For Liverpool, it's Alisson in goal. The back four: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Joel Matip and Kostas Tsimikas. It actually looks as if it's a change of shape for them as well, in a 4-2-3-1. Thiago and Jordan Henderson, the two holding midfielders. Then a front four: Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez. As for Rangers, Alan McGregor in goal. The back three: Leon King, Connor Goldson and Ben Davies. James Tavernier and Borna Barisic, the wing backs. Stephen Davis, John Lundstrom and Malik Tillman are the three central midfielders. Ryan Kent in behind Alfredo Morelos. But I'll hand back to you now as we take a minute's silence.
The Super Scoreboard podcast is sponsored by Taggart's Motor Group. Taggart's have Jaguar, Land Rover and Volvo showrooms across Glasgow and the West, so you can find the new or used approved car that's right for you. And as Taggart's are part of the Lookers family, one of the largest franchise dealer groups in the UK, you can browse thousands of nearly new and used vehicles in stock nationwide to find your perfect vehicle. They've also launched Click and Sell. It makes selling your car simple by using their trusted dealer network of over 150 sites. Why not give it a go today? See how much you could make on your old car. Taggart's have Land Rover showrooms in Motherwell, Darnley and the north of Glasgow, with their Jaguar and Volvo showrooms found in Hillington. Check out taggarts.co.uk to get your new or used approved Land Rover, Jaguar or Volvo today. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Super Scoreboard European football coverage with MoyerandSweeney.com. The top team for your defence.
Yeah, a moment's silence to remember the victims of that absolute tragedy in Indonesia over the weekend, the football related tragedy at that. Two clubs who have paid their respects on social media in recent days, and the players marking that as well ahead of this game at Anfield. It is packed to the rafters. We saw all the pre-match atmosphere building. You'll never walk alone. The Champions League music, could barely hear it actually when Andrew McLean was talking to us. And it's all set. Mark Wilson, showtime.
Certainly is. And the crowd, the atmosphere, look at the pitch. Just Anfield's such an iconic stadium to be playing Champions League football at. The Rangers players, they must have butterflies in their stomach as we get ready to kick off, because it is a huge occasion. They've not got off to the best of starts. They maybe would have liked this game to come along at a different time, perhaps in the group, but they're here now. They're in the big stage and they've got to stand up and be counted. They've got to be much better than they were in Amsterdam against Ajax. They've got to have a similar sort of performance as it did in the first half against Napoli to even get close to Liverpool, because as Dad rightly said, this Liverpool team are full of stars that can punish you at any time.
I think they've got the most important thing tonight is when they get the ball. You'd imagine the home side will have the majority of the ball. When they get the ball, that's why Davis is in there, for instance, to try and keep the ball, try and make passes, try and take a bit of pressure off your defence. But as Mark says there, it's going to be a terrific night, terrific atmosphere there, and two teams I think that is going to give us a lot of entertainment. Yeah, looking forward to it. Don't forget there is a Premiership game underway as well, about 20 minutes in, not quite, but approaching that stage between Ross County and Motherwell. Goalless there, already getting some goals down the leagues. Dundee are one up on Cove, for instance. Anderson with the goal about 5 or so minutes ago. So we'll try and stay across it all. Naturally, there is a lot of attention on a certain Champions League game at Anfield between Liverpool and Rangers. Like, here's the way this is going to work for the Champions League this season. We're here until 11 o'clock, so usually we wait and we get your thoughts after the game, but you're more than welcome to do it as the game goes on. I always say it, if you find yourself shouting at the TV, shouting at the family, shouting at the kids, whatever, phone us and shout at Gordon Duncan and Mark Wilson instead. And then after the game, certainly the onus on you to pick up the phone and let us know what you made of it all. Sometimes, Gordon, you get these little small instances that are helpful to set a tone or give you a little bit of belief. There was a short pass from Liverpool into midfield and John Lundstram went snapping in, made a really powerful challenge that the Rangers fans probably celebrated, but Malik Tillman has just bounced off Virgil van Dijk. Yeah. Well, it's plain to see, Gordon, we were talking about the tactics. Would Kent play off Morelos? It's a straight 5-4-1. Morelos is up there, Kent's just dropping off, and the four in the middle of the park. But Lundstrom's there to go and, you know, make those tackles, try and, you know, upset the middle of the park. Because you look at Thiago, for instance, he'll get on the ball all night. He loves that. He just loves playing these little balls round the corner. They've got quality players in there. Jota, Henderson, who's England captain. Well, is he the England captain? Am I right in that?
I think
Harry
Kane.
So,
Harry Kane.
Yeah, well, Henderson it used to be when Harry Kane wasn't there.
Liverpool are into the box and it's a good save. Alan McGregor, a snapshot on the turn. Was it Nunez or Jota? I can't remember which one of them got there. And here comes Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's going to be a corner. That's it. How quickly Liverpool up to that there, Mark. They were actually quite patient early on, knocking it about at the back, and as quick as a flash, Nunez on the turn blasts it straight at Alan McGregor, and it's now a corner.
Yep, you're right. Just a split second where they just up the tempo. Rangers find it really hard to deal with. Davies almost gets a block in it, and he did actually for Jota, but Nunez comes in and gets the shot away. Just lucky it was at Alan McGregor, and they've got a set piece to defend now, and Liverpool have
He's
got
to
some
be
height.
so important tonight, Mark. McGregor,
Van Dijk wins that, but it's sort of bouncing around all over the place in the box, and eventually Morelos hacks it clear. Your Beat the Pundit contestant will be happy. I know he got hammered, but
Morton one up.
Morton are one up.
Oh, go on, yeah.
Jays Kawia has opened the scoring for Morton at Oakview against Queen's Park.
That's a real fan. You're right, Gordon. I mean, going there on a freezing cold night, a good standard of football on the TV, but travelling there, hats off to him.
Strong defending that.
Yeah.
Salah can't believe it. He's not got a foul there.
Is it Borna Barisic?
I think so.
Salah felt he was fouled, and he is extremely strong, isn't he, for his size? So fair play to Borna Barisic.
You giving a free kick there, Mark?
I did look like Barisic, his hands was round about Salah. I couldn't believe it wasn't given. Look, interesting to see the way Rangers have set up. I thought with Kent and Tillman in the side, they would play maybe narrow in behind Morelos to occupy those little holes. I think it's pretty evident early on the two of them are just playing as part of a flat four in the midfield alongside Lundstram and Davis, that Kent's got some job tonight, because not only is he the ball carrier and the creative force for Rangers, he has to keep an eye on Trent Alexander-Arnold.
So how does that work then, in terms of what's the onus? So who's the onus on to? Liverpool might be in again here. It's defended well initially by Connor Goldson, and that's poor. See, Andy Robertson puts that on the money there, but his replacement screws that one into the stand. Usually if it's a back five, if you like, or with wing backs, they provide the width. Where does the width come from? Is it Ryan Kent?
Kent and Tillman will play the old into out with their job,
right, and allow Tavernier and Barisic to go.
Get with it. But they'll, I think early doors, the way Liverpool have started, they look quite sharp. They'll sit behind the ball and let the midfield players go and play. But the reason they've played the four is because Kent can get out to the right back, Tillman's going to get out to the left back, and they keep that five, and it's a 3v3.
These are the situations that Rangers hope Alfredo Morelos can be of benefit. It was just a sort of high ball. Matip was underneath it, Morelos alongside him, but on that occasion Matip just swats him aside, Mark, and comes away with it.
Yeah, and just before that, a long ball from McGregor, looking to get Rangers up the pitch, and it's Tillman, and we've seen how Tillman can leak before, but he doesn't even jump. Van Dijk just comes through.
There's no shame in not winning a header against Virgil van Dijk.
But my point is that I don't know how much joy Rangers are going to get for that. The ball will quickly come back and top on them.
Wow.
Have to keep that up.
Liverpool moving it extremely quickly and winning a free kick in what you would call Trent Alexander-Arnold territory. I know he gets a bit of stick for his defending, this guy Gordon, but he is handy with his right foot, shall we say, and he will be firing this one at goal. Ben Davies into the back of Darwin.
Yeah, it is a free kick. It's a silly one to give away. I'm sure a Rangers manager will be saying, look, don't give in silly free kicks. It's a good distance. It's going to be a good one to beat McGregor, but he's got it.
If you're talking like pick a spot to take a free kick from, that's it, isn't it?
He's probably practiced these hundreds of times on the training ground.
It's not one of them that's too close to get up and over, but it's also not too far that you need extra purchase.
Perfect distance. He would have practiced this time and time again, exactly for this position. We've seen him score from this position. Listen, he's one of the best in the world at this.
Salah is there as well. Jordan Henderson's there, all doing the hand over the mouth. Don't let anyone see what you're saying.
I mean, did they actually think that the players in the wall are lip reading them? And then even if they do lip read them, how are they going to do anything about it? It's one of these silly things that have crept into football.
It's not as bad as when players do it walking off the pitch, though.
It's one of my pet hates about the game now.
Right, here we are then. It looks like the Rangers wall is set. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold felt it was too close, but the referee says it's fine. He's just going to let rip with the right boot. It's going to be him against McGregor at this point, and it ends up in the back of the net. Rangers fans, not a lot you can do about that. It is stunning from Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's perfect. It's textbook. We said when Nunez went down under the challenge of Ben Davies that was the danger, and the Rangers fans are just going to have to sit back and take that one on the chin. Mark Wilson. Liverpool 1, Rangers 0. Stunning from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Absolutely sensational. And that's what you talk about, the levels. When you go up a level, you get a free kick in that position. You have got guys that are world class that can do that, who practice day in, day out in that position, and they often execute it. Al McGregor's quality a goalkeeper he's never getting that. It is sensational. Just over Barisic's head, sets it off there, curls it in, top corner. Unbelievable.
Two goalkeepers in there ain't picking that, ain't saving that. They're picking out that back in it. That is right on the money. Right on the money.
Alan McGregor sets up the wall, stands the other side, and then of course that's you're laying down the gauntlet to the player. You're going to need to put it perfectly. And you know what? Alan McGregor, he knows very early where it's going, and he's moving early, and he's scrambling, and he still is actually not even that close to it. It's that good.
There's absolutely no blame to the Rangers goalkeeper. He tries his very best there, but he's just been beaten with a sheer piece of quality.
What do we say, Mark Wilson? We mention cliches every week in this game about not conceding early when you're the underdog. It's 8 minutes gone, Rangers are a goal down.
Well, I think in this game it was particularly important. Said during the break to Daz, you do not want to concede to this team.
Another corner to Liverpool
in the first 10 minutes, because I feel Liverpool are in a place now that they're slightly different for other teams. If they go 1 up or 2 up in the Champions League, other teams may just take their foot off the gas. I think Liverpool have got a wee bit of a point to prove tonight to their own fans, but to everyone who's saying, like me actually, before the game, that they're not the team that they were last year, that Trent Alexander isn't the player he was last year, and he's been question marks about him being in the England squad. And there you go, he answers it within 7 minutes. It certainly is a long night for Rangers.
Seeing you go back to the goal, Mark, and take nothing away from Liverpool, it's top class. I would be so disappointed my defender giving away the free kick there. Honestly, they must have been speaking about that.
Oh, see, of course they are, but sometimes you come up against a guy who's strong and you try to win the ball.
But you don't need to try and win it. He's
Can
not
you
going
ever
anywhere.
win that? I mean, he's just got
his
back to goal. He's not going to do anything else with it. And on the halfway line, you can maybe you take one of them and put a marker down, call it what you will. 23, 24 yards out.
I don't think it ever crosses your mind when you're in the heat of the game 6 minutes in and you're thinking, oh, this ball's up to Núñez. Oh, by the way, in a meeting my manager says don't give away free kicks, so I'm not going to try and
it's nothing to do with that. It's been using a bit of experience in being a defender in the right way.
I take the point.
You get coached that day in and day out.
You've loaded that statement a bit. Is the thought process not sit and think about the meeting? Think about, can I win this ball?
He obviously thought he could win the ball.
Well, that's the bit that you would have to question. How is he going to win that?
I actually think Núñez's touch was a bit to the side, and he's shown enough of the ball that he thought he could win it. So, like, these things are fine margin. I mean, actually take a lot of these teams in the Champions League. You get a free kick away there. What is that? 25 yards out. I know I was talking about levels. Not many set piece specialists like Alexander Arnold who can do that to you. So they've come up against a guy who's outstanding in these unique situations. But I mean, what a finish it is.
We've watched that 5 times and McGregor still ain't getting near it. Look, it's one of those. Yes, you're disappointed with your free kick, but seeing the free kicks given, see, as a player, manager, goalie, sometimes you've just got to say.
No, what I was thinking, see, when you come up against a guy like that, is it worthwhile just sticking somebody on the post? I mean, I know you entice the Liverpool players on top of you, but what's the lesser of the two evils? Having that box cram full, or basically giving him a free shot at the top corner that you practice all the time.
We're now in the area of the gate being closed with you, Satan, because the horse is bolted. It's okay thinking that now. No team does it now. Liverpool.
They don't tend to do it that often, do they?
No, it's that's a thing of the past. The thing that does give Liverpool is the fact of that encouragement to come forward. Rangers need to be careful. See if they don't watch what they're doing. This game could be away before half time.
It's just a lack of opportunity.
He might have missed a penalty, as you heard on Beat the Pundit, Gordon, but he's scored one tonight. It's Kevin Van Veen, 26 minutes, Ross County 0, Motherwell 1. You'll be happy with that?
Yeah, delighted. Long trip up there, and Van Veen on Question of Sport. I wasn't on that tonight. I wasn't on that tonight. It was Beat the Pundit. But delighted for him. I thought they gave a good account of their sell at Celtic Park.
You watched that recently, by the way?
Oh yes, I think the less said about that the better.
No comment.
Yeah,
stumbled upon it on Friday night. Used to absolutely love it as well. Anyway,
painful.
Who are we to criticise? Cove Rangers have equalised against Dundee. Mitch Megginson, 27, and a result that would definitely shake Rangers group up. If things were to stay the way they are, Ajax are 1 up on Napoli, so that would be Napoli, Liverpool and Ajax all on 6 points if things were to stay this way.
Doesn't look so good, does it, for Rangers? The disappointing thing is for Rangers, 12-13 minutes in, I know they're 1 down, but you've yet to really see Morelos getting a touch of the ball, bringing anybody into play. Very little in an attacking sense, and that is incredibly difficult. But at the start of the game, maybe you want to turn them at some stage to try and get your midfield 10 yards up.
How you got to turn them when you've got Morelos as a lone striker? He ain't beating any of the two.
Well, I tell you what, I've been seen Kent before coming to the ball and spinning in behind. That's how you get up.
But there's a difference. Kent's playing more of a deeper role to stop the right back coming. I think where I would be looking at is the fact of the ball up to Morelos. You can't play high balls. Get balls into his feet where he likes to battle, he likes to work away, he likes to get the free kicks, he likes to bring teams up the park. They're desperate for that, but they can't seem to get hold of the ball.
I was going to say it's early, so this might still happen, but at the moment, I've no idea how Rangers get an element of joy here, Mark.
To be honest, I said Morelos should play to hold it up. I think that's playing right into Liverpool's hands, playing it into Morelos' feet, and what is he going to do? Play it back, who's in behind? I think the ball is always on over the top of Trent Alexander. It's the one weak part in his game just now. And what's your strength? Ryan Kent's pace, how direct he is. I don't get why they're not trying that. Just drop a few balls over, just for 5 minutes.
Well, there we go. Tried there,
yeah.
And Tillman. Do you know, it's enough to ask a question. Like, Van Dijk is the most composed man out there. It goes back to Alisson. His kick's not great, and yet it's somehow. I mean, Mo Salah's now in the attack. That just shows you how quickly they up it. Salah onto that left boot.
Oh, what a save!
Good save, Alan McGregor. We spoke about a trademark Alexander-Arnold free kick. Liverpool are making this radio description malarkey easy, because that was trademark Salah. You know the one. Cut in on the left, aim for the far corner. It's low, save. And it's a great save, Alan McGregor. Corner. Yeah,
that's a terrific save. You know he's going to do it. Everybody goes, oh, he's going to do it, but he's that world class that you can't defend it. It's up to the goalkeeper to bail you out. Let's face it, McGregor, what a save, what a touch that is, I've got to say. Because if that goes 2-0, this game would go beyond Rangers. This could be a long night for them.
Corner comes to nothing, and you see even the guys that aren't the physical ones in Liverpool team. You see Thiago, how quickly he bursts in and dominates that loose ball.
I mean, even at set pieces, they're a threat. Usually when you get teams like this that can pass and cut you open, you go, well, they're not the biggest physically, but they put every set piece in. There's another cross in because is that Matip's still up there. You've got Nunes, you've got Diaz, big lads who can mix it with the best of them. So there is no respite just now for Rangers. And look, there's Van Bronckhorst saying, turn it round the corner. Is
that what he said there?
That's what he says.
See, the only thing about that, Mark, and I know where you're coming from. You've seen the first one, Tillman. He goes, Kent goes back to the goalkeeper, he plays it quick, 2 passes, Salah's in and McGregor's having to make a great save. So it's one of those ones you go, when do you, if you're going to play in, it needs to be quality balls, because if you just go running, you'll take yourself out of position and this team will open you up. And then
they tried to go long to Morelos there, and he was in the area and he battled with Matip and he made it tough, but not tough enough. Matip headers it back to Alisson. There still has to be an acknowledgement that you play Morelos, you hope that gives you the best chance, but it's still not automatic. We sometimes fall into the trap of acting as if these guys have never come up against a striker who's going to try and back into them and rough them up.
They play against top strikers week in, week out, Gordon. They play against the best. So look, you said it there, it's to give you the best chance. Like Morelos is on it now. This is where he can get you up
he's done brilliant there.
That's his 40. Get up the pitch a little bit for Rangers.
Tavernier just tries to spin one in for Tillman to chase, and he does, but I think his captain felt he could have been on his toes a bit earlier.
You know what? I agree. I think he could have been. Even when it goes back to Alisson, I think Tillman can just go and press that and force him into something.
This is better from Rangers. Here comes Ryan Kent. He goes down and he's going to get a free kick. Now it's a bit wider than the Trent Alexander-Arnold one. Incidentally, he's the man that makes the foul. Maybe Tavernier would try and flat. It's great skill. Spins away from Jordan Henderson, does Ryan Kent. Napoli have equalised against Ajax, by the way. I don't think Trent Alexander-Arnold agrees. He didn't think he did much wrong, but good chance for Rangers.
Not the same angle, but it's in a dangerous position, and Tavernier's as good as any. When he's in form, he can find that the top of the goals, and Barisic is over there.
We don't want to find the top of the goals.
You want to in the goals.
I sort of ran out of what I was going to say there, and I just thought
into the roof of the net.
That's
what I was aiming for.
I'll throw something in here and hope nobody notices, but
we're sharp. We're sharp
highlighted.
But he's got to have a shot here, surely.
Yeah,
I know it's a bit wider, but
it's not actually as wide as I thought it was either. I think Rangers have maybe been quite cute. That 1 yard you move it to take it can sometimes make a difference.
I don't think he's been the goalkeeper for there, let me tell you.
The 4-man wall, Wednesday, he's going to have a shot. Alisson thinks he's going to have a go here. I think he should.
Why not? I mean, Rangers haven't registered a shot at goal yet, and they hit one from Tavernier, but it hits the wall. Ryan Kent blazes way over the bar on his return to
Did
Liverpool.
the referee give something here against?
There was shouts for a handball, but I don't think he did give it in the end. And he shouldn't have either.
No. That's a good chance for Kent. I know it's a difficult
setting
one,
up quite high, isn't it?
But he's in a good position. If he can catch that right, he'll ask questions of the goalkeeper.
But Mark, you have to take your small positives. Hold on that note, because here come Liverpool right up the pitch. I was going to say it's a very mini better spell from Rangers, if you can call it that. Oh, come on, I'm talking about where the bar's been raised.
All right.
You know, where the bar's been set. Sorry, they at least got up the pitch.
They got up the pitch, yeah. Morelos did something good a couple of minutes ago. Then they get the free kick. A wee bit better. Out of possession, though, I've got to say it's too easy for Liverpool. I think Rangers are a couple of yards off each man. Yeah. And I know it's difficult.
Their movement is great, isn't it?
It is great, but I'm thinking every time Alexander-Arnold gets the ball, Ryan Kent, jogs over to him, and before you know it, it's past him to Salah.
Here's Alexander-Arnold crossing again, but it's cut out that time. Now Thiago, I mean, Liverpool have got that knack of getting in there every second ball, and Gordon, just look at the way Thiago comes to the ball, and then Henderson knows that he drops off and stays. And
you don't have the career that he's had and is having if you can't play football, Gordon. He's absolutely brilliant, the boy. They've got quality players, and if they play, then they're very hard to stop. And I know what Mark's saying there about, you've got to get tighter. We've all been in pitches against players that are far better than what we were. That was mostly every week for me.
That was very self-deprecating. It's not like you.
It's not like
No, when I retired, just in the bouncing games.
You thought you were going to be the butt of that joke, didn't you?
No, not at all.
Did.
Yeah,
Not at all. But it's very difficult. It's very easy for us to stand here and say, oh, you need to get closer. Their movement, their dropping off is brilliant. Timing of the passing, brilliant. See if it was a case of just get closer and get tighter, it would be an easy game to play. Their movement's too good.
Mark, even when the touch doesn't look good, they're sort of popping these first time volleys into areas, and Rangers do regroup there, and well done to John Lundstrom for tidying things up, and now Rangers are going to look to get going. But I mean, look at that from Matip. Morelos nowhere near it, and then Liverpool into the box, and it's bouncing around, and McGregor comes and claims. Tough opening to this game.
I mean, a tough night for Morelos. I mean, we all made the point of him going up there because he can battle with centre halves, but we made the point also that he's playing against a different level of centre halves who don't want to battle, who actually can read things seconds before the ball even comes. You just seen that with Matip there, not interested in battling with him, just steps around the side, because they know they've got that much pace behind that they're never going to be troubled by it. So it's a different game.
I actually, much better than me. I thought you were going to say that actually Matip showed he can battle a bit there. Not
of course
that we
you can
question it, but
of course, because he was strong, but he didn't let Morelos pin him like you see your centre halves. They get into a tussle and they think, I need to fight this guy. Matip will just
knows when he can get in first.
Just step around the side of you.
I think the two centre halves can mix their game up any way they want. That's why they're world class defenders.
I mean,
bad ball.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was about to praise it. Forget it. Rubbish from Thiago.
But
kicks out the pitch. There's an interested observer, a certain Stephen Gerrard, loved by.
He needs to cut the ties now. Come on, Stevie. Got a bigger job today.
Joking me, Celtic's Mark Wilson.
I'd be every Liverpool home game,
even in the days that Villa were playing.
Yeah, walkie-talkie. Well, I've done that. I achieved that.
Airdrie sure did.
Yeah, exactly. Went to other games and watched things, but I've got to say, Rangers have weathered the storm a little bit. After that opening goal, you'd think Liverpool would move the ball quicker, get at them, but Rangers are starting to just settle in a little bit. They've got to make sure to keep that ball. Tillman there.
See, this is what I mean about pressing.
Oh, they're brilliant.
This is what I mean. It's a different level.
I must always talk about them. No offence, because I'm all for the positivity. If this is Rangers settling in, it could be tough, because Alexander-Arnold's just had a shot blocked. Everton's Nathan Patterson is there watching as well.
Oh,
as you would
there,
expect.
Is he? It's big dump there.
I have no idea.
There you go.
High ball, Alexander-Arnold easily held. Alan McGregor.
Well, he said Alan McGregor had the most touches of the ball in any Rangers player, I think, because he's come out and he's been commanding in his box actually for a couple of set pieces. Couldn't do anything about the goal right enough. Made a save when he needed to for Núñez as well.
Now do you see the difference there, Mark? Rangers have got Davis, who are a brilliant footballer. I love Steve Davis. I just think he's a terrific footballer. Gets the ball there, and just the pressing with Liverpool, he gives it away very cheaply. You're right, they're hungry tonight. Their pressing's good, they're sharp, they're at home, they've got that one goal lead. They can take their time. They can just play passes and invite Rangers players.
You're hungry out as well, aren't you? I've seen the way you've been tucking into that pizza.
I've had 2 bits.
Pizza.
I've had
like an animal.
2 bits, mate.
The ulcers are obviously okay though if you're back on the pizza.
It's down the left hand side.
I thought they were the roof of the mouth.
I'm eating down the Barisic. Down the left hand side.
The left back berth of your mouth.
Yeah.
Things you never thought you would hear
Just
in
get
your
a
life.
bit of energy in for tonight. The Rangers players will need it as well, because they're really chasing about. You've just got to watch. Don't get dragged out, because they'll open you up.
That's good though for Rangers, nipping that back and allowing Ryan Kent to come.
Look how deep Morelos is though. You know, Kent's got the ball, he looks up, he sees Morelos 5 yards away from him. That is about 40 yards inside the Rangers half. If he, he's nothing to hit. So you find yourself going back, and what does that allow Liverpool to do? Press you like to do. They're good at it, these top teams.
When it goes to Tavernier, there's that sort of box of 4 Liverpool players move over, don't they, Mark? In that, like I say, a kind of box shape.
Yeah, it's great to watch, because you just often with these top teams think about, look at their skillful players and look how they move the ball and their rotations. But the most impressive thing is the pressing.
It is always off the ball now, isn't it?
It's off the ball. Pep Guardiola, Klopp, you name it, they always start with how they want their teams to press. And you can see it quite easily tonight. Look at Rangers. I know they have to sit off Liverpool a bit in this instance, but you flip that the other side, when you see Goldson or Tavernier getting the ball, there's somebody sprinting towards
them. See, having
him.
never played, what did you... Because me being a layman, for me what looks like the worst is that half press.
Yeah,
that to me must be really frustrating as a player, because you know that you can't go right in the face, but you also can't sit and make it really tough. You just have to wait for that right moment, that sort of trigger, which must be that must be the hardest decision to make as Liverpool come again, cut back though, out for a corner. That must be tough, that constant judgment, is it not?
Well, of course it is, but it's much a team thing. If you get a striker or a wide man just going rogue and kind of jogging himself, the whole thing becomes quickly undone.
Let's criticise blindly while we can. Is that bad movement from Diaz? Diaz just hangs on that penalty spot. He's probably got a tap in there.
Yeah, and a top class striker at that. But it's good news for Rangers, because, as I say, Liverpool, they're knocking that ball about. You're talking about
Tavernier gives it away, dangerous area, stood up back post, but luckily for Rangers it's Connor Goldson's head. What are we on about, the 5th Liverpool corner already? 4th maybe?
See, you're talking about pressing there. You've got to do it all together, because see, if you don't, they are that good, they'll just pick you off. So I totally understand Rangers dropping off and jogging out the side of the pitch. When somebody goes to press, everybody has to come in behind, because if they don't, they will just knock it about you and take somebody out of the team and open up gaps.
The socks down looks came back into fashion now. Since your day, the socks down. Trent's got it, Thiago's got it.
I thought that was a certainty for Virgil van Dijk. He went steaming in. I thought he was there, Mark. I thought, one of them you're waiting on the net to bulge. Let's see, he's just not quite up high enough.
Yeah, it's a sensational ball for Trent Alexander.
He's just early.
He's just up too early. By the way, Jota round the back post almost turns it in as well, and that's a bit of a little for Rangers there.
Yeah, still Liverpool 1, Rangers 0. That Trent Alexander-Arnold free kick separating the teams at the moment. Remember, you can call during the game. You're more than welcome to 01419511025. Rangers fans, I know there might be a bit behind the couch element from some of this, so if you don't want to call just now, fine. You need to do it at half time, and certainly at full time. That's what you want from Leon King. 18 years of age, first Champions League start at Anfield against Liverpool. Was thundering into a tackle. Yes, he gives away a corner, but it was great defending from him.
Brilliant defender, I've got to say. He's got to get the tackle time at that as well. But great pace, really good pace. Young boy learning there, good defending for him, giving away a corner, unfortunately. They were close the last time.
Yeah, Van Dijk gets up again and is there. Twice he's got there, but without really managing to get his head to. I guess the desire from Liverpool as well. Again, it's Thiago. He's the one that slides in, makes sure he picks up the second ball, and it allows Liverpool to keep it. And it's just a laser from Alexander-Arnold across the field.
Effortless, that.
Yeah, one full back to the other.
That's much better from Tillman, Mark, because I detected already from his start to the game he would be getting some criticism for not quite being at it physically, but he's done well there. He nipped in and took it away from Nunez.
Bit of kind of Celtic Park-esque about his performance up to this point, but he just stood his ground there, does well, gets his body in. You know what he needs? He needs a few touches of the ball in a decent area. He's doing a lot of the work.
I think he's not the only one.
Back the park, but he, in particular, he's in the team for keeping the ball and going forward. He's never been picked for his defensive duties, and half an hour in, that's all he's been asked to do. So they just need to get a hold of the ball, Rangers. Just try and string 5 or 6 passes together.
I don't think you've seen anything really from that 5.
No, you're right.
4 in the middle part and Morelos up front. I think that's down to Liverpool. That's
unbelievable. From the throw in, we know Liverpool have got their throw in specialist, and it's a real part of the game now. But I mean, when you think it's a harmless throw in on the halfway line, it goes in, it's one touch round the corner, and I think Liverpool just counter-attacked a throw in. Mark, I should have seen that before.
It was so quick, it was rapid. You know, one touch round the corner, and the runners, you need to have the runners off the back of the Rangers midfield to make it work, and that's what they've got in abundance. They've got people willing to run into space when they've got possession, and you know, Rangers are finding it difficult to live with. I would say though, half an hour in and it's still only 1-0. I mean, McGregor made that one save to Nunez. Salah as well, actually too, sorry. So I mean, they've limited them.
They can't do that. They can't afford to give balls away like that and invite pressure onto them. They can't do that. That's cheap.
Not great from Alexander-Arnold, but Lundstrom gives it right back to him. Comes into Thiago. That's good though. That's what you want, Morelos. I mean, you don't want him maybe all that way back, but
I think that's what you work on though. Your striker coming back and nicking it off the deepest midfielder.
Look at this. This is Rangers really getting forward for the first time, and here we are, a proper attacking position, but it's just too much for Barisic out for a goal kick.
Well, Kent gets the ball in the right position there. He gets turned, he sees the pass, poorly executed, but maybe he should have just got on the turn and just went with it. You know, he had room there to drive into a couple of players in front of him, but you would expect Kent to relish that opportunity. So when they have gotten the positions, Gordon, they've been careless. You know, where Liverpool are so good in those positions at creating and making the goalkeeper work or the back work. Rangers haven't really worked any of the back four yet for Liverpool.
Here we go though, Rangers on a bit of an attack. I'm not sure why Tavernier didn't play it into Tillman. Gets a throw in, which I'm not sure was a Rangers throw.
Off Tavernier.
Morelos goes to ground and he's told to get up by the referee in no uncertain terms.
He wasn't having any of that, but at least it's a little bit better for Rangers trying to get up the pitch. But when they commit men forward, you see the space it leaves for the Liverpool players to just play into, and you know, Rangers need to get behind the ball quicker.
I think that's really poor from Morelos there. I think that's why he was in the team. You know, the ball on his feet, he needs to be stronger than that. He just falls to the ground. He almost try to con the referee into giving him something rather than just taking the actual hit. And you know, somebody was on earlier saying he's playing for a move. Well, you know, he's hardly had a kick of the ball. I know it's difficult, but in those situations, that's where he's got to make the most of his attributes.
Yeah, maybe a lack of composure, some would say. Others happy to just see Ben Davies clear his lines on his return to Anfield, although I'm not sure he was overly familiar with the place, having not really threatened the Liverpool team.
Did he? No, he didn't play, did he? Didn't make any appearances.
No,
he was out on loan. Yeah.
Half time, Dingwall, Gordon, Ross County 0, Motherwell 1. Taking that at the break.
100%. Take it at full time as well. 3 points and down the road, long journey.
Big game that though, because you know, good performance against Dundee United, should have won but didn't. Good performance against Hearts, should have won but lost 3-0. And then, hung in there, made life difficult for Celtic, but lost 2-1. 3 defeats in a row. Whilst the teams round about you, St Mirren and St Johnstone, Livy, are starting to pick up good points. It's an important game, that, for Stevie Hamill.
Yeah, it certainly is. Why is it been played tonight? I don't understand that. Do you know?
Hold on. Another top save from Alan McGregor to keep Darwin Núñez at bay. It could have been 2-0 to Liverpool. Big chance for them inside the box. It was games that were postponed, to answer your question. That was a huge chance, Mark.
Yeah, I was. Magnificent movement again. Henderson with the ball through over the top, but the first touch from Núñez is so hard to do. It's on the half volley, he gets it down quick, gets in target. Probably the only criticism is he doesn't put it in a corner, but McGregor still dives one way, but he gets a strong arm to it. So another important save. Rangers just need to ride this out, I think, for the next 10 minutes anyway at least, but just sense a goal's coming.
Yeah, they're starting to knock it about and find the gaps. As much as you can say you work hard, it's a difficult job just chasing the ball. That's why I'm saying that when Rangers get it, someone has to get on it and try and make passes and give the players a breather. If you're chasing all the time, your concentration goes, and when your concentration goes against top players, they'll open you up and score goals.
Sometimes, Mark, and I don't know if this is where part of the criticism comes from, because it's clearly part of his charm as well, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, hold on, Diaz is inside the box, he's moving away, and it's another save. Alan McGregor, first bit of skill was great, but thereafter probably a bit easy from a Rangers perspective.
Is it King and Tavernier out here on the right hand side?
I think
or is it Davis? Is it? And the two of them just get it all wrong. Tavernier,
I want to take back what I said. There was no bit of skill. It was just far too easy.
I mean, one of them have to take the runner. Tavernier's point to Davis, but Davis's eyes on the ball. So poor defending, and things just starting to open up. Yeah, McGregor, we're just seeing the chance again. He dives one way. It's probably too central from Núñez's point of view to go in, unless he was trying to lift it over him.
Well, you've got to say who the Rangers goalkeeper number 1 is. It's certainly McGregor, because he's been asked a few questions tonight, apart from the free kick, which no goalkeeper would have saved. I think he's been excellent for Rangers. They've created a couple of chances, Liverpool, but we'll go back to the old cliches, won't we? Well, it's 1-0. Rangers have still got that hope of grabbing something, but they've not even had a shot at the goalkeeper.
Here we are, bit of space for Rangers to move into. Kent and Morelos. Tillman misses it, but they're people in numbers now. I mean, Liverpool are back and they look organised as well, but that's what Stephen Davis is in there for, to just try and keep it and move passes around the pitch.
Bit better, I thought actually Tavernier was going to rush that cross in, but he decides to go across the way, and Rangers have found themselves now with a wee bit of possession. Can pass it about, using the width. Barisic wide on the left, spreading it about. This is better. This is their most concentrated spell of possession that they've had in the game. Albeit it's on the halfway line.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's needed. Take the sting out of the game just now. Make Liverpool players run about a little bit. Just keep the ball, keep passing it, don't give it away.
Good possession for Kent there. Yeah,
and as forward penetrating passes to find Ryan Kent. What can he do? Unfortunately, he doesn't win the corner. I don't know if he was trying to nick it off Thiago. These guys even seem to. That's going to probably be a booking for John Lundstrom on his return to his home city. Quite a cynical one.
By the way, I mean I think Henderson's clearance here on the touchline is mishit, but how Jota deals with that in the chest and just gets away from Lundstrom. It's a badging for Lundstrom,
actually. Gordon, it's got the studs down the back of Jota's leg. I thought it was more of a little trip at first. He
certainly knows what he's doing with that one. I think if Jota gets away there, Rangers are under a little bit of pressure. It was a counter-attack. So in the terms of a free kick, I think it's a good one to give away. Okay, it's cost him a yellow card, so he needs to be careful now, but that's just the danger. You've Liverpool, you've got them pegged in their own corner flag. Next minute, ball into Jota, and if he gets away from Lundstrom, all of a sudden they're on the attack.
Liverpool players didn't like the tackle. I think they're making the point that they thought it was more than yellow, but VAR's there and all that, and it would have been checked, I'm sure, for that. Mark Wilson, it's probably one of them where you do feel hard done by. That's if you're Liverpool, you're still complaining had it been a yellow, but is that ever really going to be a red?
No, not in my opinion. I mean, I think everything looks worse slow down, so probably in real time I wasn't as bad. But Thiago took another one there from Morelos. He just bounces up. He's a joy to watch, the way he plays the game.
What a pass that is. Liverpool in down the right. Gold Sinclair's corner kick. Said that a few times.
I mean, how many corners have we on
Good
this?
defending.
7 or 8 maybe corner kicks. Rangers have dealt with them all pretty okay, but you see Goldson there in the middle of the goal, taking no chances, just turning things behind. But what a ball it was inside Barisic.
Take a short one here, Mark.
Yeah, short
Knee
corner, because
switch on.
Liverpool have tried a couple and it's not worked, and that one doesn't either, because it's left footed eventually from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Morelos heads it, and
That's
a
the one to press.
wild pass back from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but doesn't come to much.
Well, that's the one to press. You know, you've worked it out. Trent tried to play it back. It's a big loopy one. It actually gives you enough time to then just go run after the Liverpool backline. But it's that half press that they just put it back to the goalkeeper and they come again.
This is what Barisic doesn't want. Salah running at him, then playing me passes and trying to get back onto it.
It feels like even when they miss hit something, it goes to someone else.
Yeah, they just pick up great positions.
Yeah, cross this time, not great, and it's going to go out for a Rangers throw.
I think Van Bronckhorst, if he can get in half-time one, you know what I mean, like, settle everything down. Because, let's be honest, I think if Liverpool score again, this game's gone. I don't see Rangers scoring 2 goals at Anfield tonight unless there's a remarkable recovery.
Sometimes the psychology of football is a bit weird, Mark, where if it was to stay like this at the break, I'm not saying they'd be devastated, but you might actually find Liverpool have a bit of disappointment that they haven't,
I think they would
made more of it.
Yeah, plenty of possession, got the ball in good areas,
Tested McGregor a few
tested
times.
McGregor. I mean, but probably be disappointed in the final third. Salah shows strength there, just shrugs Kent off the ball. Now going at the Rangers backline.
Yeah, another chance, another save, Alan McGregor. I'm just going to get a clip of me saying that on big European nights and just replay it. It's another huge chance. Brilliant from Salah. Shrugs off Ryan Kent, strides forward, slips the reverse ball into Nunez, and his shot from maybe 12, less than that, about 8 yards out, has saved Alan McGregor.
Great save. He covers his angles. I'll tell you what,
I think that's the best one of them all.
See if I was on that part now, I'd be giving Kent what for. He just gave up. He just jogged away there and put his team in trouble. But McGregor, this is the nights that he actually shows what he's all about. He's just one of these guys that can step up to this level and go and perform.
Yeah, talking clear cut chances now, Mark. I think also on top of that, is that the 8th corner, 7th or 8th?
Yeah.
So Giovanni Van Bronckhorst knows that his team are bang up against it, and the priority does just become probably getting in at 1 at half time.
Oh, without a doubt. I think that'll be a unbelievable result for Rangers to get a 1 at half time. And that one is a set piece. I mean, McGregor, I think that's the best save of them all tonight, because it's low, he gets his angles right. Nunez should put it away. So there's no doubt Liverpool should be further ahead. And you're right, Gordon, they'll probably go in at half time thinking, a bit disappointed here with our final outcome. But as all one way traffic, there needs to be some let up for the back line at some stage. Daz right, Kent off the ball, I think he has been poor. I don't think he's pressed well. I think he just gave up there. But on the ball, he needs to play his strength. He needs to get on it somehow and travel.
If Mo Salah shrugs you off and scampers away from you, I mean, do you catch him?
No, but
No,
you can make
you've got to show an effort.
an effort to fill a space, even if you don't get there. But
Go
the
somewhere
camera,
else.
the wide camera for behind the goal, just show him jogging back.
Oh, Rangers don't need that, and that's Lundstram wanted to pull back there. He wanted to, but he knew he couldn't because he was already in the referee's book, and that obviously is what happens when you commit to an early booking, Gordon.
Yeah, and especially the way Lundstram plays, it's got to be a long second half if he stays on the pitch. He just needs to be careful. He might just get caught with the quickness of the movement in the middle of the park, because they have got quality players that can move that ball quickly. But he just has to use a bit of experience, watch what he's doing, and don't get involved.
You know what's amusing me tonight? We have Rangers fans on here complaining that when teams go to Ibrox, the time waste. I've never seen.
About half an hour over
Tavernier
that
was worse.
Liverpool, and again it's saved by Alan McGregor again. Darwin Nunez is going to be sick of the Rangers keeper.
I mean,
I don't think he's beaten McGregor with that anyway. I think that's a poor effort.
McGregor still has to save it. He's running through.
But that's a compliment to McGregor, let me say, first and foremost. But they open Rangers up too easy there for me.
See, playing a back five and 4 in front, they are opening Rangers up with ease. Usually that's difficult. There's bodies, bottom gaps. They seem to be finding it with ease.
Well, I think that was the thing I was trying to ask you about earlier, about that when it's not really a park the bus from Rangers either, though. It's that
kind of
medium block or whatever they call it. Is that where that comes from? Because if you do camp out, and I know it's not pretty, and you won't want to do it, and maybe that doesn't work either. But as you said, Liverpool are creating far too much here.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you can't rely on McGregor to keep pulling save after save after save. I know it's his job, and on nights like this he does get called on, but he can't get called on every 90 seconds to keep making saves.
It looks like Rangers will make it into the break with just the 1-goal deficit. I don't think there'll be much time added on here. There's about 45 seconds of that first half to play. We will look to speak to Andrew McLean at Anfield as soon as the whistle goes.
I think there's some positives to take of your Rangers, because for me, if Liverpool were really sharp, this game would be beyond them already. As I say, this here is
wow.
Yeah, their passing and movement's incredible.
Diaz with a bit of skill, reverse pass into the box, another corner. We would always encourage people to please gamble responsibly. I just wonder if anyone looks at the corners market for a game like this.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I disagree. I think there's only with Daz. I think there's only 1 plus point for Rangers, and that is it's 1.
Yeah,
I couldn't take anything. If I was a Rangers fan looking at this, I couldn't take anything out of it. Apart from that,
has that been given as a goal kick? Actually,
yes.
There we are.
Yeah,
stand out. Ajax won Napoli 3 there in Amsterdam, so that puts them in such a strong position. That would put Napoli on to 9 points. Liverpool would move on to 6. Which maybe keeps Ajax within grasp of third place. What about half-time at Anfield, Andrew?
Liverpool 1, Rangers 0, the half-time score here. A narrow scoreline at the break, but the golfing quality is clear to see between the two teams, and the hosts have been dominating all over the park. Alan McGregor has been crucial in keeping the scoreline down, and it started early, called into action just 2 minutes in. Jota breaking into the box, the ball dropped to Darwin Núñez. His shot was beaten away by the Rangers goalkeeper. It didn't take long for the hosts to get their goal though. Ben Davies with a foul on the edge of the box. I'm not sure Trent Alexander-Arnold could have picked a better spot to take a free kick from. He stepped up, curling right-footed strike, and Alan McGregor had absolutely no chance with this one as it found its way into the top corner. Liverpool just looked so dangerous, they moved the ball so quickly. Luis Diaz then cutting in, firing a shot over the bar not long after that as Liverpool pushed for a second. McGregor then had to save for Mohamed Salah, who cut in and shot. He had an effort on his left foot, as he loves to do. The Rangers goalkeeper then made a huge save 33 minutes in. Darwin Núñez controlling a ball over the top. He had a go. McGregor got a strong hand to that one. A minute later, Luis Diaz managed to wander into the Rangers box completely unchallenged. A tame effort from him in the end though. Then another huge moment from Alan McGregor with 5 minutes to go in the half. Great play from Salah to find Darwin Núñez in the box. It was a shot from close range, this one. Alan McGregor got down to block that one, and Darwin Núñez once again foiled by Alan McGregor just before the break as he shot from the edge of the box. But Liverpool showing their class, so is Alan McGregor, with a half-time score at Anfield as Liverpool 1, Rangers 0.
Give us a call at the half-time break, Rangers fans, if you want. 01419511025. Where's that going wrong? How happy are you that it's only 1? Get in touch.
Destiny has called on Rangers. The Liverpool supporters erupt again.
Taking on Klopp and the Cop. We're with Rangers at Anfield. Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
Half time, Anfield, Liverpool 1, Rangers 0. The scoreline is narrow. The balance of play has not been. Andrew McLean, chance after chance for Liverpool. Big saves from Alan McGregor. Balls flashed across the face. Does it look as difficult for Rangers in person as it does to us in the studio?
Yeah, it really does. The Rangers analysts are actually sat in the row in front of me, and I do not envy their job at all, because this Liverpool team just has so much quality. They're so quick in their movement, in their passing. Their work off the ball is relentless as well, and Rangers just cannot match it whatsoever. The only plus point, of course, is the performance of Alan McGregor. Not that Rangers would want him to be called into action as much as he has. It does beg the question, why has he been sitting on the bench for the first few months of the season if he's still capable of this type of display? The only very slight joy Rangers have found has been when Ryan Kent has found a bit of space on the left, Barisic as well, but they just can't break Liverpool down at all, because you've got Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip, who have been strolling it at the centre of defence. Thiago is just a ridiculous footballer. The quality he has is frightening, and Liverpool are genuinely just playing with a front four at times, a flat front four as well. Salah, Nunez, Diaz and Jota, they're sitting flat across that Rangers defence at times. They keep shuffling. The link-up play has been very good, and as we said, it's really down to Alan McGregor that the score is only 1-0 here.
We always look for those little clues, don't we? Are the subs out? Can Giovanni Van Bronckhorst change anything? Does personnel help this, or what's going wrong? What can be fixed?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I can't tell, because none of the Rangers substitutes are out warming up at the moment. Not to say that every single one of them is going to come on, but Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will certainly be thinking things over with his staff at half-time at the moment. And you look at the options on the bench. People talked about, whether it was going to be Morelos or Čolak. Čolak's in there to take chances if he can get on the pitch, but the problem is Rangers just haven't been able to create any chances whatsoever. There was a James Tavernier free kick that hit the wall. It then fell to Ryan Kent, who blazed a shot over the bar, but apart from that, they've not been anywhere near the Liverpool goal, really. And you do wonder who on that Rangers bench would be capable of changing things at the moment. Would Glenn Kamara be able to come on and get his foot in the ball in that midfield, with Liverpool really just playing a midfield two of Thiago and Jordan Henderson? Would it make sense to get an extra midfielder in there and try and get on the ball a bit more in midfield as the Rangers substitutes just make their way out onto the pitch at the moment? It looks as if they are all out there at the moment, certainly, so I'm not sure there will be any imminent changes.
Okay, second half coming up next. Motherwell have gone 2-0 up in Dingwall, but second half at Anfield after these.
Destiny has called on Rangers. The Liverpool supporters erupt again.
Taking on Klopp and the Cop. We're with Rangers at Anfield. Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
Quickly back to Anfield then as we build up to the second half with Andrew.
Yeah, the teams are making their way out the tunnel at the moment. Rangers first with James Tavernier, the captain, at the front of the 11, and Liverpool have followed. There will be no changes to either side going into this second half, so I will give you a quick recap of the teams here at Anfield. For Liverpool, Alisson in goal. The back four: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Joel Matip and Kostas Tsimikas. It's then Thiago and Jordan Henderson in midfield. Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz supporting Darwin Nunez up top. As for Rangers, Alan McGregor in goal. The back three: Leon King, Connor Goldson and Ben Davies. James Tavernier and Borna Barisic are the two wing backs. Stephen Davis, John Lundstram and Malik Tillman alongside Ryan Kent in midfield. Alfredo Morelos playing up top. Diogo Jota is standing over the ball in the centre circle at the moment. It's 1-0 to Liverpool, and we are about to get underway for the second half.
Super Scoreboard European football coverage with MoyerandSweeney.com, the top team for your defence.
Right, go on then, give us the positive case. Can Rangers do anything in this second half?
It's going to be difficult, Gordon, because Liverpool look in the mood. We know the class and the movement they've got. It's caused Rangers all sorts of problems. The positives is, for me, this game should be finished by now. Should be out of sight, only for the brilliance of their goalkeeper McGregor.
Oh, Leon King's taken a sore one in the head. The 18-year-old in for his first Champions League start. Darwin Nunez has had his disciplinary issues this season, shall we say.
Yeah.
I don't think that was it. I'm not likening the two incidents. That was more of an accidental clash as both went up. Both are fine and we move on.
He's a big lad, is Nunez, but it just goes to show you sometimes Liverpool just mix it up and go direct. It was from kick-off, but even the best teams don't mess about, from kick-off, right on top of the Rangers backline and try to get something off the back it, and King took a Sorian. But look, the positives for Rangers, still 1-0. So the old saying, you just never know what can happen. But They need to be more aggressive in their pressing. They need to be braver when they get the ball, more aggressive when they attack as well. It's all just a bit passive for me and relied heavily on McGregor and goal.
In the real big game, Gordon, it's Ross County 0, Motherwell 3. Callum Slattery with a screamer, and Kevin Van Veen with his second of the evening, which, by the way, takes him up to 7 in the league, the same as Kyogo, the same as Miovski, and 1 behind Antonio Cholak.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Great result. It was a result they're needed, Gordon.
Huge result, isn't it?
And it just shows you got up to Dingwall midweek. Rangers will be home before Motherwell's team bus arrives at Fir Park tomorrow morning. So it was important to get a result. So 3 points in the bag. Well done. Terrific night. But I'm just wondering, Mark, would you have made any changes if you were Van Bronckhorst there, looking at the evidence of the first half?
I don't know if I would have tried change the shape a bit. I know you've got the personnel on there, but I mean, you play like this all night, it's not really working at all.
Without being unfair, could Rangers not just have made one change, any change? You know, does that
I could have taken anyone off, really.
You know, I don't know, Ryan Jack just had a bit more steel and maybe realised whatever Tillman was in the team to do hasn't quite clicked yet, so you just go, you know, properly defensive. Or I mean, what is the manager seeing that he wants to keep it this way?
I think the scoreline is why. Yeah.
And I think he's looking to see 15-20 into the second half, how it pans out. If it's going to be the same, I don't see Tillman, for instance. I'm not picking the lad, but he's just all for nothing for me. I would have
Connor Goldson giving a bit of a hospital pass back to Alan McGregor, but he deals with it.
Yeah, he's handled everything brilliant apart from Alexander's free kick, and he ain't getting that. I would have looked at maybe bringing on an Anfield, you know, or Ryan Jack, just to give you a bit of drive, a bit of dig in there. Arfield, if he can get the ball up to Morelos, can go beyond and trouble, you know, that third man running. I don't think Tillman's doing enough. I'm not having a go at him because I think Liverpool are just playing as they come in here, Gordon. I just think they're too sharp for Rangers tonight. They're too good.
Yeah,
Rangers are digging in.
Motherwell 4-0 up with 59 minutes gone, by the way. Joe Effords adding a fourth.
Oh,
that's getting a little bit
I
ugly.
wonder what
it's not Roy McGregor's style, is it? But
no.
Is that getting a bit ugly for Malky Mackay?
Goes one more, then you're flirting with, once it goes above 5, you're in trouble.
Still got Louis Moult to come on, perhaps.
Yeah, you look at last year. Malky Mackay come back from bottom of the league, didn't he? So a lot of football would be played, but they've not got off to a great start. But all concentration here as Rangers just clearing. Is it another corner there they cleared? But you know, there's the ball up to Morelos. He headers it. That's where Davis, brilliant.
This is it. This is better from Rangers. Their best attacking moment of the game, possibly.
That's the difference.
Is the ball from Kent bad, or is it a lack of desire from Alfredo Morelos?
I think Kent, if that's in the Scottish Premiership, Kent's taking a touch and either taking Trent on or he's steadying himself. I think he's just too rushed to get
Morelos
to get
never
that.
getting
Never
it.
getting it. I think that's just a lack of confidence, maybe realising who you're up against, lack of bravery. And Ryan Kent's done it on the big stage in the Europa League. But
it's a big night for Kent. He's back at a club that obviously started his career.
Liverpool, you know, intricate stuff. 80 yards to the chest of Luis Diaz, who knocks it down, and eventually Nunez. He's in his own shooting competition, this guy. He's not scored yet. And do you remember how good Ajax were at home against Rangers? It's 4-1 to Napoli in Amsterdam with 47 minutes gone.
What did I say a couple of weeks ago? I says I think this Napoli team will go far into the tournament. I think they are the real deal. I did say that. I said it several times. I think they are the real deal. After watching them the first game against Liverpool, I thought Liverpool would take them apart. And then seeing how good they were, I thought, this is a right good side. Surprise package of the tournament, Daz. There you
Napoli?
Go. Yep.
Oh, you're going early with that one, mate.
Don't forget, a lot of big domestic games on tonight. We mentioned the Motherwell score. Queen's Park 1, Morton 2.
Oh, poor wee man. What'd you call him?
They beat the pundit contestant.
Yeah.
Well, they were 2-0 up. It's 2-1.
Still 2-1.
No drama.
Nah.
What do you mean, nah?
Nah, I think there's a draw there, and the poor lad has just had a bad night. But
oh wow, what about this? Motherwell's Twitter account didn't know he's sneaked into the squad. Stephen O'Donnell comes on for John McGinn, apparently.
Brilliant.
John McGinn's.
I just showed you how far we've gone.
Incredible. Someone's obviously had Scotland on their mind, and the old autopilot, I assume Paul has come off for Stephen O'Donnell. Would be quite something. The skill from Luis Diaz, and he's down, and it's a penalty to Liverpool. It's getting worse for Rangers, perhaps. Leon King. It's a tough school, this. You're 18 years of age, first Champions League start, and you're tasked with stopping Luis Diaz in full flight.
It's just brilliant play. It's brilliant play. It's great wing play.
I mean, there is VAR. They'll take a look.
Yeah, but he goes by him. Obviously, Lundstrom try. He can't do it. It's a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Is that standing?
Yeah, it's a penalty kick.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to blame King. I think maybe Lundstrom can come in and give him a hand. But
he's on a yellow mark, and I think the yellow.
He needs help. You cannot be left 1v1 against boys like this.
100%. This is where I think that Van Bronckhorst will now. If this goes in the back of it,
is it Salah?
Yeah,
he tends to be. No, it's Nunez.
Is it not Salah?
So it is. My apologies.
Would you go against McGregor saving this? The way his nights went.
I'm having a tough week on the eyesight front.
Two penalties, wasn't it, against
Napoli? Nearly three.
If this goes in, you can say good night.
We just got the road.
I've just got the road.
We're here until 11 o'clock, so
if this goes in, no way back for Rangers at all.
Down the middle. I'm going
Salah
down the middle
with the left foot, a fairly sizable run up.
He'll go to the keeper's left. He always does. That's his favourite trademark penalty kick. Goalkeeper's left. Watch it. Here it goes.
Well, here he comes. Mo Salah
down
the middle, as Mark Wilson predicted.
Lefty middle.
And it's Liverpool 2, Rangers 0, and a tough night just got tougher. You can't say it hasn't been coming. It could have been a lot more than 2 already, perhaps. And it is now a second. This one, Mo Salah from the penalty spot. Leon King bringing down, or committing the foul in the box. Luis Diaz, the man going down. And yeah, tough end to this one. 53 minutes gone. Liverpool 2, Rangers 0.
They lasted 7 minutes in the first half and 7 minutes in the second half.
See, that's why you're here, just noticing these things.
Yeah, it's to be expected. If Rangers were going to set up the same way in the second half as they did the first half, why would they expect any different results? And they've got exactly the same. Now it's a long night for them, and you look at the Liverpool bench. I just wonder if they'll let up. I don't think they will. I think they'll keep going.
If you're Van Bronckhorst, do you make a change now? For sure. I mean, even just for
it's very easy for us standing here, and we've all been great managers watching the TV. I think we should have made the change at half time.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm not talking about some tactical masterstroke. Just simply because you're 2-0 down, you've chased shadows all night already. You might as well do something here. Yeah, but the big problem, we go back to this team shooting into the Cup where they're absolutely brilliant. You could end up in the end of a doing. Here's your task for tonight, listeners. Hold on. Here comes Salah, left foot. And it's blocked well. And Goldson's down as well. Yeah, 2 players are down, 1 from each team. Luis Diaz and Connor Goldson. The last thing Rangers need is a central defensive injury to the man who is never injured. It looks like an impact one, Mark, and he's holding his foot. I did look a sore one. The two of them clatter into each other here at high speed. Diaz's foot, I think, just goes over the top of Goldson's foot, but I think he certainly gets the ball first. It's just the pace and the force of the impact. I think so. But Goldson stayed down here. He's holding his foot. I mean, only real heroes play on with broken feet in the Champions League. Broken feet? Who had a broken foot? You? Oh, now that you mention it. Listen to this guy. I don't know that. You had a broken foot in the Champions League? At Old Trafford. I broke it in the first half. Played on. There's a lot of Celtic supporters. Played on. Actually, broke it in the first. I've been on the show minutes. For about goodness knows how many years, and I've never heard you tell that story. Come on then, this is your moment. There's a lull in play. Broke it, got the ball played to me, right back position. Who done it? I hope it was somebody good. That was Silvestre. Oh, come on. I know. Of all the big stars you played, he was good, to be fair. You know the old stud shown to block it, my foot right against him. Yep. And I thought, I've done something here. So I managed to play on the other 20 odd minutes. Yeah. And then half time I says, I can't walk, need to come off. And they were that happy. It was 2-2 at the time. They were that happy. How thing, you'll be fine, inject it, you'll be fine. So I go back out. Injection? No, I says I don't want an injection, I'll just go and try it. So I go back out. And then if you see the second half of that game, you'll see me hobbling back and Solskjaer scoring the winner at the back post.
I couldn't get back in.
Now,
Okay, there lies the reason of
And then I
that
got
story.
subbed. I got subbed. I says I need to come off after that.
right, two ways of looking at this.
That's a lie.
You're a soldier.
God's honest
You're
truth.
brave. Well done. Secondly, you wonder why you retired at 32
I know.
or whatever it was with
I know.
injuries.
I shouldn't have listened. And you know
Yeah.
what? That was me. I was at the final Champions League game against Copenhagen away.
It's an education sitting with this guy and asking him about an injury. He said every injury under the sun this
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
I like that bravery from
Yeah.
him, though. I mean,
Snap.
Do you believe that?
yeah,
I
he's-
don't
honestly,
believe that.
there's
for
only
minute.
one person in here that tells fibs about their career, right?
No.
And it ain't him.
It's him. It is him because the moral of that
no,
story
that is
is
true.
the end bit.
No, that's true.
Solskjaer scores,
Nope.
he gets subbed, so he's got to he's got to come up with
Had to
something.
break main fit. Do your tactic. Get the hammer.
Listen, I had the biggest break in the world and played
No,
that.
that is true.
I know
God,
it's-
Jonathan.
I did. I broke my nose in the game.
I mean, wildly responsible from whoever told you to stay on, I would imagine, but
Yeah.
you letting bygones be bygones.
All the
must-
staff.
Oh my! Imagine telling him to stay on. You'd be delighted to get him off.
Conor Goldson does continue. I mean, talking about wild injuries, what about the one he was telling us about before
The
we came on
Germany
air?
one.
What about the hernia?
The Germany one's the most classic I've ever heard. That I loved that. Go and tell it.
Right, hold on, let me check the time. It's 9:15.
No past watershed, is it?
Producer Callum, so we're on later than normal. I think we can push the boundaries a bit. See the bit with the tape?
Leave the bit with the tape.
Leave the bit with the tape out.
No, put that in.
We don't need to know
A
what
wee bit of tape.
we don't need to know what got taped where.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Something to my leg.
But tell us the other bit. Go on,
What's
mate.
the Boris
Well,
in these?
if you're brave enough, tell us the bit about the pre-op
yeah,
routine.
so
So,
I
you're
had-
going for a double
I
hernia.
was going for a double hernia in Germany, taking over, and I was told, well, you can imagine where you get your hernia. Oh,
I've had
round
two.
about the
Germany.
groin
I've
area.
had two, yep.
Yeah, so I was told to make sure everything was, smooth, shall we say.
Dear, that's not the word I would have gone for.
I got
I thought
the
you'd have
old,
gone for something a bit more ambiguous,
Yeah.
like
No,
Smooth.
groomed. I don't know.
groomed. Well, anyway,
Right,
I went
okay.
instead of going for the old razor, I went for the Veet. Maybe applied too much Veet, which is a well. Those of you who know what Veet is, I don't need to explain. I was hoping Liverpool scored there to interrupt that story. What a chance! Anyway, too much Veet on.
This is ridiculous.
Listen,
We have just reached a new low on this show.
Rangers are playing Liverpool Champions League, and what a save that is! That's
fantastic.
a
Let's
save.
chat about that.
No,
yeah.
no, carry on.
Oh,
And
Anyway,
my.
I went over to Germany the next day. I had to do the pre-op with a nurse who was lovely about the full thing, but glowing in the dark comes to mind. Pretty red raw, and sore.
the only guy who went for a hernia and got treated for third-degree
By
burns.
the way, do not apply that to sensitive areas.
Outrageous.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't
it
that,
didn't
but
work
it
out.
was the hotel bit. I loved it. He was lying in his bed, and he.
Yeah, what was that all
I don't know,
about?
Oh, so the
thought
hospital's part of this hotel set up. So you're in this kind of 5-star hotel. You're in a normal hotel room. Anyway, they chat on the door. They come along, right? Time for your op. Jump into your hotel bed. They then put the wheels on the hotel bed. They popped in. The barriers up. They wheel you to your room through reception.
People
out the
are
other
checking
door.
in.
By the way, people are checking in and they're looking at you
Come
through
on.
the other door.
He's glowing a
and
bit
all of a
down.
sudden, you're in a hospital where people are just pulling at your
That's plenty.
bits.
There's a bit of glowing going on here with Mr. Wilson from
They didn't need to
Celtic.
put the lights on when they were doing the hot.
No need their glasses for this one, Doctor.
Oh well, binoculars maybe.
I loved the bit tied to your leg.
That's no, listen, we don't need to go there. I said it was getting
Sellotape.
late and you could get away with some things, but we won't bother.
Masking tape.
People might be having some late
You
dinner.
were going to throw something out there for the listeners. You said this is your task tonight. What was it?
Oh yeah, it was you during the break. You were trying to tell me that you've done research and that the number of goals Liverpool score at the Cop End far outweighs
Yes, it does.
what they score elsewhere. So I just wonder if someone can back that up for me, do some research. And
You did say that. You were pretty.
Do you not believe that? Like,
it's not that I don't. I would just like, cause I'd like concrete evidence of it. That's all.
you watched tonight.
Well, that's not what evidence is it? It's not really how it
I'm
works.
taking it one game at a time.
You'd have made the worst lawyer in the world
I'm taking it
for
one
a
game
man
at-
who's needed a few lawyers in his time.
Exactly.
Our old pal Alex Ray, he'll be
Whereabouts?
missing. He's missing the game tonight. He's got other things on his mind.
He'll be watching that. He'll
Think
have
so?
that on the. You see the
On the
analysis.
touchline.
Yeah,
Reading
analysts
won
with
and
the
Norwich
iPad.
won. It was Scotland international Grant Hanley that scored for Norwich, but Reading are level. I think he will. I think he's got his phone under the.
Oh, Alex doesn't miss a game, does he? I'd be surprised if he's even there at Reading.
Do you know what I'm surprised that we're now at that usual 60, 61 minutes? No change yet.
There's one coming now. Somebody's getting a talking to there on the touchline.
You wonder is it an Anfield? Is it Jack? Is it Cholak for Morelos? Is he run his race?
Well, he's done nothing. They talk about run a race.
See, be fair, Mark, he's not had a lot of service. I've been there myself.
Triple change for Motherwell. Gordon, Moult, McKinstry and Tierney on for Shields, Efford and Spittle. 70 gone, 4-0 up in Dingwall.
You can afford to do that when you're cruising, Gordon. That game's well away from Ross County.
Right, quickly then, let's make this interesting. First sub to come on for Rangers, go. Quick.
I'm going Anfield. I'm going Anfield.
Fashion Sakala.
Jack. I'm going Jack.
You can now see it. But Fashion Sakala is going to be the first one on.
So Tillman will come off bit with
Ryan Jack. Glenn Kamara's doing something. I don't think he's coming on yet. Jack and Sakala for.
I would say Davis and Tillman.
Okay.
That was my half-time substitutions.
Yeah, well, I mean, they just need.
You might look at
something.
Lindstrom. He's on a booking and he's not performed at all tonight, Lindstrom.
You know what? It's just been a nothing game for Rangers in respect to so many of the players. Just not getting near it. No, it's a fantastic ball. Actually, Goldson, I would say, at a lot of them, Goldson, McGregor.
Yeah.
Goldson found themselves on the end of so many crosses like that. Alexander Arnold just put into a brilliant position. It's Goldson's head. He's been there to mop things up.
I mean, he's had to give away a lot of corners, but not.
Golson's been excellent.
Not in a negative sense.
Yeah. So he's been fine, but the rest.
Tillman is going off. He's one of them that's going off. Let's just stay with this corner for now. Outswinger this time from Liverpool. They've had a fair bit of corner practice and they're going to get another one here. It's not really. I don't think they've come that close from corners, have they?
Just Van Dijk's one, I think, in the first half.
Up to 12, I think.
12 corners.
Which is.
And they get the most corners out of the cup.
Oh, do they?
Well.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'll add that.
Evidence has backed that up.
Yeah.
Well, it's a wicked delivery, but fair play to Malik Tillman. Heads it away at the front post. It might be his last action of the half.
You know, Andy, the caller, come on and said, look, we might get beat tonight, but we're going to take positives. Right now, you'd look at McGregor and Golson positives. But I don't think Rangers have given enough tonight. As much as Liverpool have been excellent and too clever, but that desire to me is I'd be looking for a little bit more hunger down there. It's a massive game.
Is it not obvious it's a gulf though, and then everything else makes it looks like the desire's not there? Is that,
you know, the little bit of jogging and stuff? There's still you can still go and try and work and press, and as a team you'd need to do as a team, because
I mean, to be fair there from Tillman, he doesn't want to give a penalty away, but Liverpool they do win the race to everything, Mark.
Yeah, they do. I mean, and they're fast feet in and around the box. Obviously, where they get the penalty free, you can see it there from Jota again. Like, the players have been passive to a certain extent. The manager set out a formation to contain Liverpool. When you concede in 7 minutes, it's incredibly difficult to then get anything out of it. And you just wonder if he's thinking just now, I know personnel is going to change. Does he change the shape? Does he revert back to something more familiar to actually try and get Kent further up the pitch, or Tavernier into a more, familiar role?
I don't see him changing shape, because where's he going to put King at left back?
Yeah, unless King's coming off, has he?
Well, we only know that Tillman's Tillman's one, and
that'll be Davis probably, won't it?
Tillman, yeah.
Ajax 1, Napoli 5. Remember that brilliant Georgian player?
He's good, this boy, 77.
His name is very difficult to say, but he was rampant at Ibrox. He scored the 5th. What a result that is.
Yeah, that's a big statement. But that boy is magnificent. I think he's tearing it up as well in Serie A.
Right, Sakala on, Tillman off.
Is that a strange substitution? Lately, Sakala's not been anywhere near it. Matondo's been the man. He played well on Saturday, and he flips it over, brings Sakala. See, that's why I said we're all experts in the studio. I looked at that and I thought at half time that could have been the sort of substitution. I wouldn't have went Sakala, I'd have went Jack and Arfield for Davis and Tillman.
I seen Jack there, having a word with Kent and doing the universal point for wide guys get up. So
I thought that
you
was
see
your
Sakala.
dad dancing there.
My dad moves. Yeah, but there you go. Sakala straight up pressing Van Dijk. They've won a throw-in, and Rangers actually
There we are.
in the final third.
It's a masterstroke. Sakala looks confident. He's dragging the ball around.
At least he's running a bit.
Here it comes to Jack on the edge of the box. We've seen strange games before where a team goes 2 up and cruises, and you can maybe just give them a bit.
Well, the
I think
next goal
Sakala,
into it, the next
what a
goal.
run that is! It flashes it wide.
Well, he just looks happy all the time. But I mean, at least he's come on for what, 30 seconds here. He's pressed.
A wee bit
He's
of
actually
energy.
sprinted. He's then got the ball. It's a horrible shot, right enough. But it reminds me of myself cutting in there
With a broken foot.
Yeah. But
Well, I guess
look at him pressing again. He's actually trying to get close to people, which Rangers need a bit more. Saying that, Liverpool just pop a run on them.
Yeah.
They're out.
Oh yeah, here come Liverpool again, and it's Diaz, and Liverpool maybe have overdone it a little bit. Gordon, intricate wise, maybe just forcing 1 or 2 things on the edge of the box.
Yeah, maybe that one more pass, one more touch, but they've certainly got it in their locker, and this will be interesting because I think it. As much as I do agree, Rangers have the game's gone. It's 3 points. They've got to try and get forward, try and get the next goal to even give them any hope whatsoever. But when you do that and commit players forward, all of a sudden you leave those gaps that this team could obviously hurt you with.
Morelos, that's nice. Here comes Barisic into a crossing area. Alisson holds easily.
Well, just that lack of quality. Actually, Barisic, I thought he was set up to take a touch, but it's how quickly the Liverpool players backed him just to close him down. He ends up having to dink it, and it's a poor cross.
Here's what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, 2 passes, and young King again has got a problem.
Yeah, Diaz back on that right boot, but slices this one well wide.
But that's much better then. King does well to hold him up, forces him inside, then it's up to Golson to step out, and then whoever's the next one, that's the way you've got to play these guys. Jackson
Should have been a corner.
Yeah, that was a corner.
Rangers will take that. The referee doesn't think so.
I don't think there's any harm in that now. 20 minutes left, you're 2-0 down. Go 3 for 3 at the back. Try and push up. Okay, you might take a
They're
batter.
bringing a couple of subs on. Jota will go off definitely.
Yeah,
He's
just Firmino coming on, so nothing to worry about there for Rangers, I'm sure.
I'll be probably for
Firmino
Jota.
and Fabinho, incidentally.
Good. Oh, you're on the ball tonight.
Yeah, I can read Kloppy's mind.
Yeah.
Kloppy
and I have got a lot in common.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one single thing, like wearing tracksuit bottoms.
Yeah,
that would be the only one I can think of. You dress a bit like Jurgen Klopp, actually.
Do you think so? I've not
Same
really
brand
seen
of
him.
t-shirt.
I've not really
That's
seen him
about
out
it.
and about, but I like Klopp. I think he brings a lot to the English game.
I think
Take
he's
his skipper off Henderson. Yeah, his job's
The
done
England
tonight.
boy.
I mean, he's the England captain after Harry Kane and Harry
That wasn't
Maguire
being a
and
pundit.
whoever else.
But he has
Before-
captained
Yeah, he
England.
has, of course he has.
Of course he
You're fine.
has.
You're fine. So yeah, Jordan Henderson going off, Fabinho coming on, and the other change was Firmino for Jota.
I honestly think Liverpool found it easy tonight, but I don't think they are anywhere near their best either. I think they're a long way away from it, but it's been allowed tonight. It's been.
It's amazing that team. See that
Second
team
gear.
for me, Mark. It's fully international players, quality players. Manny was a massive loss to him.
Yeah.
Since he's gone, it's noticeable. Sorry, notable. Noticeable.
Notable's fine.
Okay, I'm using
You put a
all
P in
Kens
there.
tonight. Yeah, the pace of it isn't as quick.
It's weird,
as
isn't it? You're right. Manny, you wouldn't have thought he would be the actual real difference. Maybe he isn't.
No.
Well, you look at who he's been replaced by.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a foul?
Yeah,
Is that a
Ryan
foul?
Kent goes down in his own box, wins a free kick.
Yeah, you look at who Manny's been replaced by and you go, well, real quality there, younger players. You take somebody like Van Dijk out or, Trent or someone like that, you go, well, maybe.
But I think Manny's sometimes an angry little man, and I think what he does, he gets to people and he keeps people on his toes.
Yeah, he used to fight with Salah all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. And listen, it didn't do him any harm at all. So sometimes you need that in the team. You need that little that bit of anger, that bit of people driving you on, getting at you, demanding more out you. And I think it spurs every player on round about you. And I think Liverpool don't seem to have that, but they're still, look, they're still a quality side. We've seen that tonight, some of the passing and the movement.
Game is, I mean, it's over as a contest, is it?
It's over for me. I can only see Liverpool scoring again, Gordon. I've got to be honest, especially into the Kop.
You never know. Maybe Rangers a set piece or a deflection or something that they can just give themselves a foothold. I mean, we've seen it before. That's about all you can offer, isn't it? We're not saying it's looking likely, but you've seen it before.
You have, but they need to give themselves a chance at getting up, and as long as they keep to this system and keep their wing backs tucked in and their back three there, well, how do you expect to get up the pitch? The system was played to contain Liverpool. You haven't contained Liverpool at all, so what's your other options? To sit back for 20 minutes and just hope that they don't score again, or give your fans something to look forward to?
Oh my goodness, what a pass that is. But luckily for Rangers, it's a heavy touch. Is Diaz offside?
Yeah, he's offside. Cholak coming on for Morelos.
Surely coming on for Morelos.
Not surprised with that. Morelos
might not be Morelos, by the way, but you would just 100%.
Imagine. Morelos is running his race. You could see there, ball gets played up. The two centre halves just header it between each other. It's been a difficult night for Morelos. He's not been given the service, but when he has been given a bit of this, he's not been anywhere near it. He's come up against two quality centre halves, and Cholak will come on there and think, you know what, I'm coming on here to try and prove a point. And he's quite right, because he'd be disappointed not starting, but if he's going to get anything, then they need to get balls into the box and create chances for him.
I agree with you. I think he's coming on thinking, right, get the ball to me. I'm going to show you that I can play at this level. I'm going to show you that I can actually hold the ball up, because that's the only reason Morelos, I think, is in this team. He didn't do it tonight. I thought it was so disappointing. Far removed to the player that people were saying X amount of millions could go to one of the top whatever teams down there. But
I've got flashbacks of the caller who said play Morelos because he will give Virgil van Dijk nightmares last night.
Wow.
But look, everyone has these moments where you're a bit blindly optimistic about your team, and we've done it all week as well. We've tried to look at the potential positives and say, Liverpool have had a tough time and Rangers have been good in Europe. All true, but this is just one-way traffic, and Liverpool somehow was the offside flag up anyway. It was.
Offside,
I thought Nunez was offside that time, but
what about the tackle on Jack there? I mean, was that Thiago who?
That was wonderful.
Great tackle. I mean, just throws his body into it, fair, and maybe just the right call there. But I mean, even if it wasn't offside, what a sitter that was.
I know he should have scored.
For Diaz. I mean, he's got an own goal there and he puts it away.
It comes
King.
off. It comes off King. Yep. Good defending from the young lad. Brilliant. But it looks to me that both teams are quite happy 2-0.
I thought
Rangers could have taken a sore one here tonight.
I thought they would have kept going. I thought they would have put the foot down the full way just to prove a point, really. But I think you're right, Daz. I think they've kind of settled just into
if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, we're quite happy. 2-0, clean sheet, 3 points, and we'll look forward to a trip up to Scotland next week.
Porto won by Leverkusen 0. 3 times I think someone has scored in that game, and then 2 seconds later it's popped up saying correction, and VAR's obviously had other ideas, so we'll see if this one stands. 15 to go at Anfield. Don't forget the Openline. Well, it's here right now, in fact, but understandably people might want to wait until after the game. I know it's not been a great watch, Rangers fans, but where has it gone wrong? And you never know, if the unlikeliest of comebacks takes place, then well, it'll be quite the celebration on here. 01419511025. Get in touch and let us know what you're thinking.
That will be interesting to see what Rangers fans actually think of this, because there's an element, it's 2-0 Liverpool, the Champions League finalists last year, great European side, but I think you then need to look at your own side and think what they gave you on the night. Well, and up to this point it's been flat.
Rangers have a bit of possession in an attacking third. Dusan Tadic has been sent off for Ajax. What are they, 5-1 down, did I say? 5?
Is it 5? I think.
Yeah, 5 at home to Napoli, and they're down to 10 men as well, so it shows you how good Napoli are.
Beautiful play for Liverpool there. Rangers pressing them in their own box, but just one touch passing, lovely little triangles, just passing our way out of trouble. Amazing. Great talent this team's got. It'll be interesting again to see. I know we're jumping ahead a bit, but to the game next week, Van Bronckhorst, what are decisions to make? Personnel's one thing, but shape and how you approach a game. Can I approach it like this?
Yeah, got a game at the weekend as well. Does that have
St.
to
Mirren,
does that have to be just treated completely separate?
I think so.
And actually, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't react positively or negatively, because in fact, he's clearly done that already.
Well, beat Hearts 4-0.
Because if that had any bearing, then Cholak would have played tonight.
Yeah.
He changed the team for obviously Anfield, because he knows he's coming up against better opposition. So I think it'll be the same next week. I think he'll get into the St Mirren game, see that one out, and then look to Liverpool come to Ibrox, and there'll be probably a few changes, maybe tactically different. Of course it will. You've got to set it out different.
There's a happy man. He might have lost it, beat the pundit, but our contestant has seen Morton win 2-1 at Oakview against Queen's Park. It's a bit
on Russell.
It just shows you that league has those moments. They battered at the weekend and go up there and get a decent result a couple of days later.
Happy night for Russell. Straight
Go
on
on, Russell.
night shift.
Give us a call back on your way down the road.
Let him warm up first. He'll be absolutely freezing.
Yeah, hardcore fans at this time of year.
I don't think it's that cold today, is it?
It's cold tonight.
I think
You're
you're
at
just
mile
exaggerating.
wet.
Oh, there's Kevin Van Veen gone joint top of the Scottish Premiership goal scoring charts with a hat-trick in the 89th minute. Ross County 0, Motherwell 5. Gordon Dalziel.
What a result that is. To be fair to Motherwell, they've been playing well. Van Veen's the main man up there, and if you can get the chances to him, he'll put them away. That will be a nice trip down the road. There's nothing worse being up in the Highlands there, and losing and having to make that long journey, especially at night, all the way down. But the team bus will be in good spirits tonight coming down, great result for them.
I'm not saying 5-0 away from home has been coming, Mark, but how Motherwell scored none against Dundee United and then Hearts was remarkable. There was even a missed penalty in there. There was a sitter of all sitters from Paul McGinn. There was all sorts. So maybe in that regard, that's where, as a manager, you do just need to sometimes take those off days in the chin, have a bit of faith that it will turn. Look at your stats. If that's suggesting that you are doing the right things, be patient and know that you'll get your reward eventually.
Yeah, I think so. I think even at the weekend they did okay at spells at Parkhead. So Stevie Hammond doing a real good job there. A lot of questions. Was he the right man coming through the academy, and no experience, but just goes to show you he knows his stuff. The players play for him.
Just feel sorry for Rangers here, Gordon, that even if they come back and win 3-2, it still won't be result of the night after that scoreline in Dingwall.
No, and obviously player of the night, Van Veen.
Yeah, absolutely. Darwin Nunez has got Kevin Van Veen posters on his wall, basically, is what I'm taking from this.
Big Van Veen scored 3. He's ducked tonight.
Look, it's going to be a bit of a strange time to be critical of Liverpool, but remember the pre-season discussions down there. Nunez might be better than Haaland. I'm not sure those have aged well.
Not in the same ballpark.
Do you know what? He's clearly shown he's a good player tonight, but the top players probably score a few of the chances that he's had.
Yeah, the boy at City, I'm telling you, I looked at that game on Sunday and I thought, 40 years too late for me. 35.
Like to play up front with him.
No, just play in the wide areas and just give him the service.
It's a joke, isn't he?
He would just laugh at you.
Laugh at
if he seen you in the team.
Well, he would just... the same thing in common. Good goal scorers, know where they'll put the ball, but what a talent that boy is.
Good result for Cove Rangers. They have won 3-1 at home against Dundee. James Milner's come on for Thiago, who just makes football look far too easy. Mark Wilson.
He's a joy to watch, just the way he plays. That's the kind of player I would have liked to have been. Just that kind of effortless.
I think all the Celtic fans would you like to have been that as well?
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah.
Certainly wouldn't be standing here we used to.
Live and dream.
Okay, Kamara and Matondo coming on. Ryan Kent going off, certainly.
He looks disappointed. It was a big night for him, getting back to his old club. He was wanting to put on a performance.
Poor.
He's probably.
I can't build a case for him.
Ben Davies gone off for the last 10 minutes.
Back
Change of shape.
Yeah.
Bit too late.
the full Rangers thing has been below the level. So if anything, though, Ryan Kent maybe at least shown a couple of flashes of composure that it's lacked elsewhere.
I'm with Mark. Do you know what I'm watching the game? I know it's difficult because we've all played it. It's difficult when you're playing against real good players with great movement. I don't see the belief there in the Rangers players tonight.
But is that not? How tough is it? I mean, you played, I don't know.
Tough.
You'll have played against a Liverpool team with Dalglish and
Souness, Rush, all these.
Did
boys.
you feel demoralised?
100%
Well
I did.
then.
Yeah, I did. But I still worked away. I still raced Hansen, neck and neck.
And he
down
laughed
that.
at you.
Yeah, he laughed at me, but so did most of the Liverpool side at that time. They were a quality side, but look, when you're up against movement like this, sometimes it's very, very hard. And the usual shouting at the telly, get tight, get close, and it just doesn't work that way.
They're shouting, "Bring back Dalziel and Wilson" at Airdrie. Apparently, Montrose have just beaten them 4-2.
Active had a good season. So they have.
Good season.
It reminds me when I went up to.
What 3-4 days in
I've had a
October.
good season. Went up to remember where Airdrie went up to Brecon.
Oh, I remember.
And the game almost get called off. Midweek game away up to Brecon, almost get called off.
I remember that. Was it not
delayed.
delayed? Yeah, I remember that.
He kept phoning me.
It got delayed. We're in the referee's room, and I'm saying this game can't go on. Our players had ended up having pre-match something like 4 hours before or 5 hours before.
Starving by the time kick-off.
Starving. Their players ran in off the motorway. Beat us 3-0. Beat us 3-0. Horrible night.
What about him the other night? Trying to make you in the big night out that you pulled out of with your mouth ulcers. He gets sitting next to your pal Marvin Bartley, and I can hear. I'm nosing in. I can hear what he's saying because I'm thinking these two have never really met or they've never been in the show together. Mark's going to make a bit of conversation. He says, "So Marvin, where'd the Livingston have their pre-match?"
Did seriously?
At which point
Greggs.
Marvin said,
Greggs.
"Tony Macaroni."
Well,
by any
he
chance?
says, "Are you taking the?" And then I went into Openline, and he went, "Tony Macaroni."
No, you should have said away from home.
Ajax 1, Napoli 6. Giovanni Simeone on 81 minutes. That is a doing at home for Ajax.
All of a sudden, that result at Ibrox for Rangers doesn't look that bad, does it? Against Napoli.
I mean, if it all becomes about third place, Liverpool go very close. Matip with a header just inches wide. Look, if it all becomes about third place after tonight, although Rangers have been battered in every single game, they're 3 points behind Ajax.
Well,
Can you beat them at Ibrox? Next something elsewhere, or
when's that? 3 weeks away. Yeah, because you'll have Liverpool followed by Napoli, won't they, away, and then
third place becomes
Ajax in the last game.
I mean, truth be told, I think before this group, Rangers fans would have taken third, wouldn't they?
Oh, they take 3 points. They take a goal.
We're going to need to dig a bit deeper into this. How is he moving in these circles? Andrew McLean sent me a message. Says his friend was at a wedding that Thiago was at. I'd like to know the degrees of separation there.
Hold on, he said his friend.
But still, even at that,
We can all have friends like that.
have any of your pals been at a wedding with Thiago?
No, but
He says the next day there was a barbecue for all the wedding guests, and his 3-year-old son was running rings round kids 3 times his age. It's not entirely surprising, is it?
Nah, these guys have got a good life, haven't they? Unbelievable. Just played top football a different way. But here the Rangers, look, I think they look better.
Oh, here we are, Rangers into the box, big chance. What a clearance.
that is.
how did you get that over?
I was going to say, I feel like Andy Robertson tonight's, he's not exactly done anything wrong, but I do feel like Andy Robertson still looks like a big upgrade at left back for Liverpool. But that is magnificent.
What a clearance.
It's Matondo. He goes through the legs of Alisson and it hits the goalkeeper's sort of leg, and it's going in. And what a clearance off the line.
Yeah, it was fantastic play. Actually, Rangers really opening up. Matondo, it's another opportunity. It's another good
Rangers
save.
having a flurry of late chances here.
It's amazing, a little
Anfield.
bit of pace, change the system.
What did I say? They change the system. What's your options?
Sholak as
Sit
well.
back.
Can you imagine he put it in the
suck
back
up,
of it?
or change your system and actually go for it. By
I
the way,
mean,
see the form Cholak's in.
you expect
him to score that. It's failing his left foot. He's 6 yards out. Maybe
Well, you're being generous, Mark. He's about 3
he's
yards out.
3 yards out. But I think he should bury that. And I actually think Matondo should score as well.
I would probably say Cholak was more favourite for me there. I think Mark makes a point. The form he's in, confidence on there to prove a point. Good play with Rangers. That's encouraging. Bit too late for me, but good pace. Maybe Van Bronckhorst is looking towards next week and thinking, right, okay, that's a spanner in the work as Liverpool come up the park.
Yeah, Liverpool come forward. They're not committing bodies really though, are they? Does it look like they, as you alluded to,
they've settled? Yeah, they've settled for a result, Gordon, there's no doubt. But it'd be nice for Rangers to get something here, because as I say, Andy was looking for, not the fact that he didn't think they were going to win, but if they didn't win, at least something positive. A goal would be positive. First goal in the group stage.
It's finished in Dingwall. Did I mention that? Worth another mention. Ross County 0, Motherwell 5. A Kevin Van Veen hat-trick, including a penalty. A goal for the returning Callum Slattery, and also Joe Efford as well. What a victory that is for Stevie Hamill.
Brilliant result. Brilliant, because it's certainly not easy going up to the Highlands. We say it all the time with every team, but isn't it? You know, a lot of travel. You're into a game, and Malcolm Mackay's team, well, if you take it last season, they were incredibly difficult to beat there. This season it's went a wee bit pear-shaped for Malky.
Tough though, isn't it, at that level, when you know Hungbo and Charles Cook are no longer your players?
Without a doubt.
Does that leapfrog Motherwell in top 6? Goal difference maybe?
Yeah, Motherwell gone, no goal difference needed.
No.
But they'll have played a game more than everyone else. So on to 13 points.
Hearts on 13.
My apologies.
Aberdeen 13.
Nah, the goal difference will be +2 now.
+2. Yeah.
But yeah, you have played a game more. So
points in the bag.
Another game tomorrow. Kilmarnock St Johnstone. St Johnstone on a good wee run. Kilmarnock not quite so much.
Be a big game for Kilmarnock. They've got to start getting points on the board.
Yeah, home game against St Johnstone.
Yeah, big game. Derek McInnes will be expecting to win that, Gordon. But take nothing away, St Johnstone have found a little bit of rhythm. They're scoring goals and playing okay, so but a difficult one.
Yeah, Stevie May looking in good form at the moment, so we'll see how he does tomorrow. This game is petering out at Anfield. There's been a mini flurry from Rangers, a couple of chances, which is more than the travelling fans saw early on.
They've changed the system, but does it look like Lundstrom's at right back? If I got that right, Lundstrom at right back, with Goldson and King and Barisic and Tavernier.
Is it still a 3 then, Mark? Is Lundstrom coming in there and Tavernier going as a wing back? Yeah, look, it's still a 3. Lundstrom's just dropped in there with Goldson and King. Barisic and Tavernier are still down the flanks.
A good play from Kamara, but I think Alexander Arnold had been impeded first, so the referee brings it back.
I could be wrong there. Is Barisic off?
No, Barisic is there.
No, you're
right,
fine, don't you worry.
I was a bit worried there.
I mean, it's
Liverpool in again. Well, good save, or fast off the line I should say, not so much a save from Alan McGregor.
It's just a shame. I don't think it's lived up to the spectacle that we maybe thought it could be. I know Liverpool's streets ahead of Rangers, but maybe just thought Rangers would have made it more of a game, especially in the first half. It's taken them a long time to even work the Liverpool back four and goalkeeper.
Or even, this wouldn't have been entertaining from a Rangers perspective, but even in the sense that Liverpool haven't kicked on and gone and won this 4 or 5 as their chances suggest they could have. It's been a simple 2-0.
Well, that's it. Once they got 2-0, like that says, I think they just settled for it, and they created 1 or 2 other chances, but there was no urgency really in their play. People not really breaking their neck, and I don't think Rangers pushed them to do that either. Up until Matondo and Sakala have come on, they've made Rangers a bit better, purely because they've ran a bit. I mean, Matondo getting behind, they get a chance. Sakala created his own wee half chance. But Cholak should definitely have scored. He should definitely, for me, put that away. The form he's in, the position he's in, that was the real opportunity for Rangers, and they didn't take it. It's always vital to take your chances at this level when you get them.
I mean, you can see it even with it's 4 minutes added on. We're just beginning that. Milner goes into the corner and starts to hold it up. Not quite as drastic as you've seen at times, but he's not in any hurry. Referees let play go on. Liverpool felt, and Rangers could be in here. Maybe a chance to make something happen late on. Sakala, Cholak, edge of the ball. What a cover he
touched
tackle.
Too much.
You don't get that time there.
No.
Yeah. I thought he should just put his laces through it.
It's that running machine of
This
James
is where
Milner.
you've got a problem.
He comes back. You know Salah's going on to his left foot, and he does, but it's curled straight at Alan McGregor.
It's amazing. We all know Salah is going on his left foot there, and he still managed to get a shot.
He had a pass on though, Mark, as well. Is it?
He did.
Was it Firmino? Was he giving him an earful?
Yeah, I think so. I even actually thought he was going to chop back again. Sometimes he does that on his right. But you know what? These last couple of minutes here have been more like it. Rangers up one end and Liverpool up the other. Pity the rest of the game wasn't like that. But I just wonder again what Rangers fans actually think it. Did they expect them to go and actually put Liverpool under a wee bit more pressure, having that kind of weak backline this year? This is probably the easiest Liverpool have faced it this season. You know, if you look at their past games and the pressure their backline have come under, but this has been the easiest that they've probably found it.
Yeah, well, Rangers fans, answer the man. The open line is here already, so when the full-time whistle goes, what have you made of it tonight? Quite a simple question with some complex answers, I'm sure. 01419511025. We're in the closing stages. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes to go of the 4 added on.
Yeah, I think Van Bronckhorst, his substitutions have come on, given him a bit of pace, but I think they'd be quite happy to get out there 2-0. I think Liverpool had more gears as well, Gordon. I think when it went 2, they just sat back, they settled for the result. Rangers made that substitutions, a little bit of pace, bit of impact on it, got on a great chance. I agree with Mark. I think Cholak in the form he's on, I think he'll be disappointed he's not found it back in it.
I thought maybe Calvin Ramsey would come on because Trent Alexander-Arnold's gone off, but it's Joe Gomez. That's a bit boring. Jurgen, I wonder about that man management there. 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, Pierce money.
No,
there you go.
Standing ovation for a man who's been getting a bit of stick recently.
Yeah, it's good management.
Why it is, isn't it?
It's good management.
I think the Liverpool fans are buying. You know, just a small point on there. Rangers broke. Matondo ran off the back of him, and you see Trent struggling to get back, and he pulls him back. He gets booked, and he's get taken off right away. Right, but you just wonder. That's what I'm talking about. Kent running off him. He is not the best at going back. I don't think he wants to run back, and that's where I think if you're a Rangers fan, you're disappointed that you didn't ask more questions than that side defensively.
Remember Jeremy Frimpong?
Yeah.
Sent off for Bayer Leverkusen. They're 2-0 down to Porto, and he's got a second booking in the 88th minute.
He's my favourite player at Celtic at that point.
Was he?
What was the saying? Oh my days, remember that? He was kicking a bit.
I thought he was brilliant and burst on the scene. I just loved the way he played, the energy, smile on the face. I had a lot of time for wee Jeremy.
A lot of time for Mo Salah's trying to twist and turn, but is it Leon King does well to stay with him?
No, he gave away the penalty, right? But he's 18 years old, playing at this level against these players. I think he can hold his head high. How he's performed tonight. This is a tough level for these seasoned professionals. Never mind an 18-year-old.
Liverpool have the ball on the edge of the box, but they're not even trying to score. They just want to keep it. It's finished Ajax 1, Napoli 6, and it has finished Anfield. Andrew McLean.
Liverpool 2, Rangers 0, the full-time score here. The home side showing their quality. They get the victory, and it could have been a lot more if it wasn't for Alan McGregor. Liverpool took the lead 7 minutes in. Ben Davies with a foul just outside the box. It was perfect range for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and what a free kick it was, curling it into the top corner for 1-0. McGregor couldn't do anything about that, but then made a string of saves to keep the score at 1 up until the break. He made a low diving stop to his right to stop a trademark Mohamed Salah effort. He then frustrated Darwin Núñez on a few occasions. The striker controlled the ball over the top around 33 minutes in. McGregor getting a strong hand to his shot there. He then made 2 more stops from the Uruguayan before half time. It only took 7 minutes into the second half for Liverpool to double their lead. Luis Diaz breaking into the box, and when he did, he was tripped by Leon King. A penalty given. Mohamed Salah stepped up and hammered it straight down the middle for 2-0. Then another fantastic Alan McGregor save, this time from Diogo Jota. A shot that looked like it was going high into the net, but that one was tipped over the bar by McGregor. So close to a third for Liverpool with 7 minutes to go. This time Joe Matip's header from a corner went inches wide. Liverpool not as relentless in the second half, but they downed the right to take their foot off the gas a bit. Rangers did then create a couple of late chances out of nowhere really. Ravi Matondo using his pace to get into the box. His shot from a tight angle looked goal bound, but Tsimikas did brilliantly to slide in and clear that one off the line. From the resulting corner, the ball fell to Antonio Cholak, but his shot was blocked. Jurgen Klopp's side showing they're a real class above here at Anfield. Rangers now without a point or a goal at the halfway stage in the group stages. The full-time score here at Anfield, Liverpool 2, Rangers 0.
Right, what did you make of that? 01419511025. Come on then, Rangers fans. Is it hold the hands up, nothing you can do, beaten by a very good team? Or are you angry? Are you frustrated? Do you think you set up wrong? Could you have done more? How do you feel about individual performances? It's still bottom of the group on 0 points, but the Rangers fans inside the stadium are just cheering away and clapping the fans off and singing passionately and whatever else. So how do you feel having watched it at home? 01419511025. Gordon, do you sum that up for us, please?
I thought it was a routine victory for Liverpool, Gordon. Early goal in the first half, early goal in the second half, settled for what they got. They could have been more for Alan McGregor. I thought McGregor tonight especially was sensational. Golson had a good game. Young King, I thought, adapted very well, although he gave away the penalty kick. And I thought the plus thing for Van Bronckhorst was the introduction of some of these substitutions. It was the only time they looked a threat. It was the only time they looked like they could get a goal. And I think Cholak will be very disappointed he didn't get that first goal in the group stages. But Liverpool were the winners.
I have to agree with that. I mean, Liverpool, I don't think they really got out of second gear tonight. I don't think Rangers pushed them enough. Now, I know when you lose the first goal at that early stage of the game, it makes it difficult for you. Maybe the big point was at half time to change things, to change the shape, to try and get at Liverpool. And Van Bronckhorst stuck with it, lost another goal, and the game quickly slipped away. But I'd agree with Daz, when the changes were made, I thought Matondo and Sakala looked much more livelier than Kent. I thought Cholak probably should have scored, so they looked better for it. But it was as routine as it could be for Liverpool. And if I'm honest, a bit flat from Rangers, albeit against a world-class side.
Right, Rangers fans, that's what Mark Wilson and Gordon Dalziel think. Yeah, I value them, they're fine, but I'd rather hear what you think. 01419511025. Get in touch, let us know what you made of the game, the result, the individual performances, maybe the overall package with your team at the moment and where they're at. We're here for you, and we're here for another hour, so hopefully we'll get the thoughts of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst in before the end as well, and we will speak to you after these.
Destiny has called on Rangers. The Liverpool supporters erupt again.
Taking on Klopp and the Cop. We're with Rangers at Anfield. Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard. Clyde 1's Super Scoreboard podcast with Taggart's Volvo, part of the Lookers family. Click and drive, the simple contactless way to buy a car. Clyde 1's Super Scoreboard podcast with Taggart's Volvo, part of the Lookers family. Click and drive, the simple contactless way to buy a car. Rangers and Celtic in Europe's big league. This is Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
We're here for you on these late Champions League midweek nights. We've extended the show until 11 p.m. tonight, and we'll continue to do so on nights like this, which means plenty of time for your reaction after the game. It finished Liverpool 2, Rangers 0. Trent Alexander-Arnold's free kick, Mo Salah's penalty sealed the 3 points for Liverpool, which moves them into second place on 6 points. Napoli running away with it on 9. Ajax tucked in there on 3, and it's still 0 points. And still waiting for a goal, actually, Rangers in the Champions League group stage at the moment. So what did you make of it, Rangers fans? Is it hands up, better team, not much you can do? Or were there elements of that frustrated you? Get in touch and please do let us know. Billy's first up in Springburn. Sum up your feelings after watching it, Billy.
How you doing, lads? Can't take it away from the result. Liverpool outplayed us, but I thought we broke ourselves into a bad level. We can't pass the ball 10 years. Every player can hold on to a ball. McGregor's on the man with pass marks. And I think Kent, I'd have left Kent doing the Liverpool and packed his bag after the bus, quite honestly, because for months he's never bet a man, he's never ran at a man, his passing is sloppy. He did look totally disinterested. I'm quite embarrassed for a guy who wears a Rangers jersey the way he played tonight.
The Super Scoreboard podcast is sponsored by Taggart's Motor Group. Taggart's have Jaguar, Land Rover and Volvo showrooms across Glasgow and the West, so you can find the new or used approved car that's right for you. And as Taggart's are part of the Lookers family, one of the largest franchise dealer groups in the UK, you can browse thousands of nearly new and used vehicles in stock nationwide to find your perfect vehicle. They've also launched Click and Sell. It makes selling your car simple by using their trusted dealer network of over 150 sites. Why not give it a go today? See how much you could make on your old car. Taggart's have Land Rover showrooms in Motherwell, Darnley and the north of Glasgow, with their Jaguar and Volvo showrooms found in Hillington. Check out taggarts.co.uk to get your new or used approved Land Rover, Jaguar or Volvo today. Now let's get back to the podcast.
If I was a Rangers fan, I would have concerns about Kent. Now, I know he scored a fabulous goal at the end of the game in Tynecastle, but the game was done. He's playing against 10 men at that stage. Hearts players running empty. This season, look, I can't disagree with much what Billy says there. He has looked a bit disinterested at times. He hasn't been as creative as he was last season, the season before. And you know, tonight are games that players like Ryan Kent should rise to. It's what he's bought for, the big occasions. It's what the fans pay to see. It's who the fans expect to carry them up the pitch. It's who they pin their responsibilities on. And I thought he was way short tonight. He got in some good positions. I thought even when he received the ball, I thought he looked timid at times. I thought he looked like, let's get this away from me.
See the difference, Mark. I disagree with Billy. I think that McGregor, thought Goldson was excellent. I really did. But going back to Ryan Kent goes off the pitch and he puts two subs on. Sakala, that we've not seen, Matondo, who had a good game at Tynecastle, and they were positive and they ran at defenders. That was the only bit of hope that Rangers had. And you're expecting Ryan Kent, who starts week in, week out. I agree. I think he scored a great goal against Hearts at Tynecastle. The game was gone beyond Hearts by that time, but he's offered nothing for me this season. I think he's been frustrating to watch if you're a Rangers fan, because there's talent there, there's no doubt. Let's not be kidding. The boy's got good talent, but right now he is bringing nothing for me to the Rangers table.
Do you cut him any slack, Billy, on the basis that this was a mismatch in footballing terms?
No, definitely no. He's got all the skill in the world, as Gordon says. He never been having a bad game as a winger. You hit that box and let the defender make his mind up what he's going to do to you. He didn't want to beat a man. He didn't want to take responsibility to run at a man. So if you're going to be a winger and you can't beat a man, you shouldn't go in the park. As simple as that. I'd rather play an extra guy in the midfield and have a winger that doesn't want to beat a man. So Sakala done more in 5 minutes in that game. He's done about the last 9 weeks.
Yeah, listen, it's why wingers are held in such high regards, because they entertain fans. They often bring the end product. It's why they're paid the big money as well. You know, because it's often the hardest thing to do. Apart from scoring goals, it's beat a man and set up things. And Kent has done that. He's made a name for himself at Rangers. But tonight's, I think, followed on for a lot of performances this season from him. I think even going back the part, we highlighted one in the first half where he was shrugged off by Salah, and you think, can he get back? No, he couldn't get back. But I tell you what, he could have made some sort of effort to try and get back into a position. And I think the Rangers fans are seeing that too often. That's where Billy's point about disinterest, because it comes across that as disinterested. I think the one in the second half, he gets it into the wide area, he puts it across from Morelos. Again, what Billy's saying there, how many times have you seen Ryan Kent take that and take a touch, square up the full back, get a shot off? No interest.
For me right now, Ryan Kent's getting a game needs reputation. Everybody keeps saying the same thing about him. Oh, he's a good player, he can do this. Well, last season against top teams, he was going by people for fun. He's got great ability, he's got great skill. Yes, we all tick the boxes, we all agree. But right now, he's not doing any of that. And he's in the team because of his reputation. He comes into games early on, you think, oh, this could be the day for Ryan Kent. He looks right in the mood for it. And then you're sitting 76 minutes on the clock, you're thinking, I've not really seen anything about. He's not positive. He doesn't go by people now. He seems to cut in and he'll play wee 1-2s. He's not positive. Matondo come on tonight, tried to get the fullback. Sakala tried to get the fullback. At least they were positive, and they caused a little bit of problems.
Anything else jumps out for you, Billy, I assume Rangers didn't lose tonight all because of Ryan Kent, and I'm sure you'd acknowledge that as well. But what else was there for you?
Well, 5 years basically to get the ball away cheaply. There's no marking, just a joke, quite honestly, in the box. Honestly, no Henry Golson. I think Golson's a good big player, but he's no marking. He's all found wanting, I think, because every time he goes in for a ball, he seems to crouch down just to try to impede the guy. A guy like him should be dominant in his box. I mean, you expect that for the rear players, crouching down and try to knock the players off the ball.
Every time you pick through a performance like this, whether it be Rangers up against a better team in Europe, Celtic, Scotland internationally, or maybe Motherwell up against Rangers, Celtic, when you've got that, you're always trying to find the balance between how good the opposition are and what you could do better. So Billy mentions Rangers just needed to be better on the ball, that the simple passes. Liverpool fans will be saying, but our pressing's great, and that's what we'll do to you.
That's correct, but I don't think there's any excuse. Rangers get the luxury of dominating the ball most games up here, right? So they're used to being on that ball. Tonight, I look at that team and it was set up. My big concern was Tillman. I think he's been swallowed up in a couple of the big games. I look at him tonight and I don't think he's ready for a stage. And I get back to what Fraser Wishart said on the programme Saturday. He's a young boy, he's inexperienced, he needs time. This is a massive stage against. You look at the quality of that Liverpool midfield. He just ran about. He never contributed anything. Davis was in there to control the passing when they got the ball. I didn't think he achieved that either. I thought Lundstrom was well off it. Yes, you can look at Liverpool being far the better side with the quality they've got. I thought Rangers tonight in the ball, apart from when the subs come on, made that wee impact with their pace, I thought they were very poor indeed.
Alan McGregor, Billy, did he keep it respectable?
McGregor was outstanding. I mean, he's outstanding. He could have flown for the goals. Fair, you could say you stuck somebody on the post, but it's one of these shots the guy hits. It's a 1 out of 10 you hit that corner, didn't you?
Yeah, the goals Rangers lost, funnily enough, for all Liverpool created, it was a free kick and a penalty that done for Rangers, Gordon. First one is Nunez, back to goal. Ben Davies comes through the back, gives away a free kick. Trent Alexander-Arnold sticks it in the top corner.
I know in the heat of the game, and Mark's right, you're not out there but if you're a player, you're centre back, you don't give away. You're not going to win that ball. He's going nowhere. You're in command, because if he turns, you can. So he's giving away a cheap free kick. From that very moment, we all looked at each other in the studio and thought, that's perfect. I think it was you that said, Gordon, it's the correct distance for this guy.
Oh, it's where he would have placed the ball in training.
Right. So this guy, and Mark's right in what he said as well, he would have been practicing that day in, day out, 50, 60 times, just whipping that ball into the corner. I thought McGregor set his cell up. I don't think you can give any criticism to McGregor. It's the quality that beat him.
Can you put a man on that post?
Absolutely no chance. He's talking nonsense. Don't even
look,
go down that road. His next one was he could have ran back.
Hold on a minute. Well, there is an argument. There is an argument.
There's no
because
argument.
Trent Alexander put it in the top corner. So you think, well, how do you affect him once you've gave the fill away? You can't just say, well, you can't do anything.
Why you genuinely not trying to be clever about it, why don't you see that very often though? There must be good reason for it.
Yeah, well, obviously because as soon as that guy drops before the ball's hit, it just entices people to stand in front of your goalkeeper. That's why.
I'm telling you, see if you put somebody in that post, I don't even think he's heading that. Is that good a quality? There you go.
Right, thank you Billy in Springburn to kick things off. Not a happy man. 01419511025. What about Derek in Bathgate? How do you sum up your feelings on it, Derek?
Well, I'm not in Bathgate tonight. I'm not out to walk with motorbikes running up the back of me tonight. I'm actually in London tonight. I've missed the first half, but I was back in the hotel room for the second half. It's hard. A little bit of, well, I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed by it, but we made Liverpool look good tonight, I thought. For everything that we've done right last season, the Europa League run, we've definitely not done this season in Europe. And tonight it was like 5 at the back, fair enough. Maybe Lundstram drops in when we're playing 4 at the back and he comes back. But when have we played a 5-3-2 or whatever the shape was tonight? I was listening to McCoy just after the game there, and there was a point in the game where Kent was 1-on-1 with Alexander Arnold. He didn't take him on, he cut back inside, and literally about 60 seconds later they had a penalty. We looked very, very shy. We had no confidence. Lundstram looks half the player that he was 3 months ago. It's just not where it was. The difference between the Europa League final and where we are just now is night and day in Europe. It's not good enough.
People would say, Derek, that was the Europa League and this is the Champions League, and one of the better teams in the Champions League, and that's the difference. Is that fair, or is this all about Rangers level dropping?
No, it's not fair, because you look at us going to Borussia. Borussia Dortmund are a massive team in Europe. We went to Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are a team in the Champions League in their most seasons, and we made them in Dortmund look average, and we got a great result at Ibrox as well. So I don't think you can really make... Fair enough, week in, week out, you're doing 6 games in Champions League, maybe, but we've been to Champions League teams in Europe and beat them. So I don't think you can really make that. And
do you know what, Mark? I do get that as well, but at the same time, there are levels of Champions League team.
Yeah,
Victoria Pilsen are a Champions League team a lot of seasons. I'm not comparing them with Borussia Dortmund, but Liverpool are better than Borussia Dortmund, are they not?
Oh, 100%. And I would say Napoli are better than Dortmund. Argument about Ajax, where they find themselves maybe there or thereabouts. Yeah, Rangers did play better in that tournament. They were in a better rhythm, but this is a different level, and it's hard to get across sometimes to people, because they see it as a step up in the tournament, but they think, well, like Dortmund and other players are... No, these are teams who get to the final of the Champions League. There is a difference in win it.
It's just not that, Mark. You've got to take it into the full picture. Doesn't look, going to Dortmund, great result. Ibrox, all that. Last year was brilliant. They took a couple of big scalps. That doesn't guarantee you're going to do that every time you come up against the big leagues. Look, they're in a group here. They played 3 games. They've lost 9 goals and they ain't scored a goal. So it shows you that quality. Yes, you can go and beat the Dortmunds, you can go and beat big teams, you can maybe go and get a result next week against Liverpool, but in the whole of the picture, you ain't going to compete at that level. And the Rangers manager has already come out and said it.
Does that come back to then that age-old debate about, again, when we have any team that comes up against a superior opponent, are you as well just having a bit of a go then? The counter to that is always, but you don't want to get an absolute doing. For instance, the scoreline, it is important to some people. Rangers fans who were at the game stood and applauded the players after. Right? Wouldn't have happened at 5-0.
No, it wouldn't have.
But then is that just a reaction on the night? Does it really matter? And in fact, maybe it could have been 5 if it wasn't for Alan McGregor anyway.
Well, yeah, easily could have been 5 when you look at, especially that first half, the amount of saves they make. Van Bronckhorst certainly had a game plan, and it was to contain Liverpool. I've no doubt if things were going alright, he may have changed things to try and nick something late on if it was still 0-0. The problem is when you lose a goal in 7 minutes, then your plan quickly becomes undone, and then you start to think, well, how can we get back in this? I was surprised, I think you were as well, Daz, that in the second half nothing was done. There was so many passengers in that Rangers team. You said it, Gordon. You could have taken off any one of them, and you would have just got a reaction. I don't think you would have got a worse performance for anybody that you brought on, but he just stuck. What happened to get the same result?
I thought it was his biggest mistake tonight, the Rangers manager. You can go through the team formation, everything. It's always got to be difficult down there. I'll cut him slack with that, but I thought his biggest mistake tonight was, you witness that first half, you know that Liverpool going towards the club has got to come at you second half to get that killer goal. I thought he'd have changed things.
You love that, going towards the cop.
Yeah, well, it's stats, it's there, it's facts. But I thought that he waited too long. Okay, it's easy to
make any difference.
No, is he? Well, I think maybe bring on a Ryan Jack in the second half. Maybe try to change one or two little, because Rangers offered absolute nothing the first half. They lost a goal in 7 minutes. Second half, they lost a goal in 7 minutes. I just thought that he waited to that second goal, and then the decisions were made. I thought at half time he would have made them.
Any complaints about the penalty Rangers gave away, Mark? I don't think there were too many from Rangers. Was it the right decision for you?
Yeah, it was the right decision. I think young King, he obviously gets left 1-on-1, and it's a fantastic piece of skill. It's always hard to stop somebody like that. What you need is your midfielder or your other centre half inside you to come in and help you. I think he got a bit isolated.
It came about quite easily, didn't it? I mean, I think it was actually Ryan Kent on the attack. Did someone mention it? Actually, it might have been the previous caller. There was a sliding tackle, ball over the top, good footwork, penalty.
See, to be honest, I think after Kent gives the ball away, I think I counted 4 Rangers players jogging just back. Now that's a problem. You see it in a wide picture and you think, well, that's nothing to do with what happened at the other end, but there just seemed to be an acceptance. Oh, here comes Liverpool, and young King's left to deal with it. Before you know it, Lundstrom's too far away, Goldson's too far away, and he has to foul him. But no complaint over the actual foul.
Do you know something I don't? You two, is it a double barrel name that he's got? Is he Leon Young King?
Leon Young King, yeah.
Every time he gets mentioned on this show, it's Young King.
Did you say Young King as well?
You've got me saying Young King.
You'll be signing for Southampton any more of this?
Well,
because they specialise in that stuff.
I think the lad can look back in his night.
Young King,
and apart from and it's a hard one, because you're right, you're looking for Lundstrom and people like to again give you a wee bit cover, because you're up against a world class player that's going one against you. I think Lundstrom put himself under severe pressure with the early booking, and you never really seen much of him in the game. But apart from that, I thought that boy can be very proud of his display tonight. I really do.
Young King.
Leon Young King.
In 15 years you'll tune in and he'll have to be described as Old King, presumably. Right, thank you to Derek. What about Chris in Dumbarton? Chris, how did you see that tonight?
How you doing, guys? I think Derek and Billy there have made some good points. For me, I think I'm astounded by the choice in the midfield. I think when you look at the game back, every time the ball got lumped forward from Rangers defence, we were losing every first ball, we were losing every second ball, and you had guys in the bench that could have made a difference in the midfield. I mean, I understand why you want the experience of Stephen Davis in there, to have that cutting pass, to have that bit of composure, but it's not going to work at a game when it's this high tempo. Similarly, Tillman, again, a talent, a lot of skill, but too much of a game for him, I think. And you had battling guys, you had Arfield, you had Ryan Jack that should have been on for a start, that could have made a difference. And again, I completely understand why you played a back three against a quality team like Liverpool, but you're playing a back three that have never played together. And if you're going to lose a game, I think you touched on it earlier on, you might as well have a go at it. And all we've done is we've played it in the hands. We've not learned from what happened against Ajax when we played the exact same way. So for me, very frustrating all round. I think you get tactics wrong in the first half, as Gordon touched on. He didn't change it in the second half, and even personnel, I think you got the wrong choices there. So all round, you can't take it away from Liverpool. Obviously, a massive team, great quality there. They didn't even play at their top level, and it was only 2. But I think there's a lot for us to reflect on all around and what could have gone better from our point of view.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of points that Chris is saying there. I was looking at when they went in half time 1-0, and I'm thinking, right, that's the only positive apart from McGregor's display, that Rangers could take out the first 45 plus minutes. I thought, and I was very surprised, and I'm not here to tell Van Bronckhorst how to do his job, but I was very surprised that Tillman stayed on the pitch. I would have taken Davis off as well. I'm going to be honest, I thought he was there to do a job that it just wasn't happening. He brought Morelos in tonight to take Rangers up the park and hold the ball up. That didn't happen. That backfired. Morelos just was not at the races. Maybe that's down to some of the quality of the service he got. Davis was brought in to do a job, get on the ball, retain the ball. That didn't happen, and you could see that didn't happen in the first half. So as much as I'm a massive Stephen Davis fan, I think he's brilliant. I would have replaced him with a Jack who gives you more energy round about, and I'd have brought in someone like Arfield for Tillman, and then the late substitutions helped him on. But Van Bronckhorst decided to go and say, right, as most managers do, give it another 15 minutes. I've had my team talk, see if I get a reaction, tweak one or two things. We're going to maybe play the ball a bit quicker up front and go and try and support. But after 7 minutes, and Mark quite rightly on the clock, 7 minutes, the game's gone, it's finished.
I think Van Bronckhorst's personnel choices are interesting. Chatting about it before, I mean, players that he picked tonight have sat watching on the touchline or got limited minutes for the last few weeks. And you look at, I know he changed the shape, but you look at Matondo, who arguably had his best game in a Rangers shirt on Saturday, and got real pace and threatens. When he comes on, he makes a difference. Morelos, obviously, look, there's an argument why he was in the team tonight, but again, he's not there just now for whatever reason. Davis, Dave, the list goes on. Tillman's a funny one. Started the season high hopes, performed, dropped out of it, and then remember Van Bronckhorst didn't pick him in games that you thought this is the games to build him up, against Dundee United and other games like that. Yet he plays him tonight and he's lost again. So if he did make the decision to take him off at half time, you then start to worry for the boy. Yeah. It kills him.
Do you cut him some slack, Chris, because sometimes he's been asked to play out of position, or particularly in games against good teams? Or actually, does he just need to show a bit more desire and commitment, and therefore it doesn't really matter which position you're playing in?
Is that Matondo? Sorry,
Tillman.
But no, Tillman, I mean, absolutely. Listen, he is new at the club. He has been played at position, and he's been dropped in a lot of big games. But I think, I absolutely think, the manager needs to take a lot of responsibility for that, because he's a young guy, and I think he's seen under a couple of games before that he's not reacted well to pressure. And it's not that he doesn't have to. You come to a club like Rangers, you have to be able to step up, you have to be able to play. But he gets cut a little bit of slack. But the manager has to take responsibility for that. It's not the first time we've seen it happen this season, and I think there could have been better opportunities. It's not even as if he was offering his pace. You know what I mean? All he offers is he's a good technical player. He's a baller. He's got a lot of ability, but. No, I just think all round the personnel in the midfield wasn't the right choice from the start tonight. And as soon as they changed it up in the second half at the end, and we started to have a goal, you can see the difference it made already. It's just frustrating when you have to wait until 10 minutes to go, when you actually start to have a crack at a team and see what you could have done. So it's just been from my point of view, a very frustrating night all round.
Yep, good detailed assessment there from Chris. What do you think, Rangers fans? 01419511025. It's a good time to call. We'll try and get you next.
Rangers and Celtic in Europe's big league. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Gordon Dalziel, Mark Wilson, and you are here reacting to that defeat for Rangers at Anfield. We're not too far away from hearing the thoughts of the respective managers, so get in touch, Rangers fans. We've had a bit of a mixed bag of criticism, a bit of understanding as well, I think, at the level you were operating at tonight. Maximus is pretty upset though. He says no heart, no tactics, gutless. Gio's done, no support from Wilson and the board. Ask the panel the average age of that team tonight without Leon King in the Champions League. Disgusting. I don't think he's happy. That's what I'm taking from that. Gary says, I would rather have lost 3-0 having a go than 2-0 playing like that tonight. Celtic fans would 100% agree based on their Real Madrid performance.
I think there might be a few Rangers fans there like that. I think, especially the fans that travel. Matter? No, I think it does matter. I think the fans who've travelled in there in large numbers wanted to, I don't know, feel something in the game, feel a bit of excitement. I think if you're a Rangers fan watching that, there was not one moment that you maybe got up out your seat. Maybe Cholak's chance at the end, but apart from that, there was nothing much to shout about tonight.
I think you can analyse it all you want, Gordon. Having a go is okay to say having a go. You've got to get the ball and go up the park and have a go. Yes, they had a wee flurry at the end there with Cholak. You're right, could have maybe put the ball in the back of the net. But I think Liverpool had really switched off by then, had settled for what they got. They were in total control of the game, Liverpool. I think that Rangers are quite lucky to get away with 2. I think Liverpool missed up a chance to really give Rangers a heavy defeat tonight, only for the brilliance of that man. It, has been doing it so long for Rangers. McGregor, I can't speak highly of him. Yeah, I was disappointed in the fact that once again they went down there and they're huge numbers, and Liverpool, I think, were just worthy winners and too good for Rangers on the night.
01419511025. That's the number that Johnny and Stirling dialed. What was your biggest frustration, Johnny?
How you doing, guys? You alright? First time caller?
Good to have you. What stood out for you tonight then?
Right, well, I'm gonna mix up a bit here, right? So I thought the 3 at the back worked. I thought King and Davis and Golson were strong. You're saying they could have beat us, but I thought we defended well at the back 3. The problem for me is the captain, number 1, he's got to go, and Borja Barisic. He's not doing a job for me. We've bought a £5.5 million laddie. We've not given him a chance. The first time I seen him against Queen of the South, he's hitting a byline, he's taking a ball in front of him, he's running with it. Barisic gets the ball at halfway line, passes it back every time. He's so negative, he's so scared, he looks like a wee laddie. We need to give this laddie a chance. Tavernier, I know you sing his praises every week, Gordon. I know you love him, again everybody's, but where was he tonight? He was all over the shop, he was running about like a dafty. Devine would have been a better choice second half. It was clearly wasn't working. Give the laddie a chance. The game was, if we're going to get beat 1-0, we might as well get beat 10-0. Give these boys a chance. At least they can run up the wing, hit a byline and cut the ball back. Did we do that tonight? We never took a man on once, and we're playing a 3 across the middle of the park. Shocking. And we were solid in defence. You're saying, it could have been this, that and the next thing. 2 set pieces undone us tonight. The 3 boys at the back defended well. We had no penetration in the wide areas.
Sorry, what about the number of saves Alan McGregor made?
Aye, but there's bread and butter for Alan McGregor. They're going to get that against Liverpool.
I think some were, to be fair. So, obviously, but some
I
were
thought
very good
Salah's
saves.
in the first half was excellent. I really did. And there one in the second half that I thought I don't know who it was, Diaz, that came in and I thought he had
tipped over the bar.
Oh,
yeah.
What a save that was as well.
No, Liverpool had
to be
23
fair,
efforts,
I get
10 in target.
Yeah, I get some of what
suggests
Johnny says, because you guys actually did say you thought, like, individually Goldson played quite well,
yeah.
and you thought
King did okay.
Leon King was fine as well. So there's a middle ground there. You two actually did think that, but it's probably too much of a stretch to say it was just 2 set pieces that undone us.
No.
But what do you make of Johnny's main frustration is that the wing backs, he's not having Tavernier and Barisic anymore.
Look, the minute something goes wrong, Tavernier comes in for a bit of criticism.
What did you make of him tonight?
I thought he was very quiet. I thought Barisic was very quiet. Look, I don't think there's many out there I would have given pass marks to. I thought Lundstrom was very quiet indeed. Davis, sub, Tillman, I thought the occasion got him. Kent, not for me. Morelos backfired, just didn't work. So I wouldn't just put the blame at Tavernier and Barisic's door, because look, if you're asking me second half, and I totally understand Johnny about young players and desire to go up the wing and stuff like that. That's okay in fantasy football. You're playing against Liverpool, you've got to be in the positions, you've got to be good enough to do that.
Liverpool good tonight. Liverpool good tonight.
They were good enough to cruise by us Rangers, to be honest with you.
They didn't cruise by us.
Oh, they did. Oh, look, they could have been an absolute doing if it wasn't for McGregor.
But was it a doing?
No, but what I'm saying, if it wasn't for McGregor, tell me apart from Cholak's chance, the only opportunity Rangers had. What did they have in the first half?
Matondo makes a chance.
That's the one.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. We didn't have the players on the park to create these chances. Barisic and Tavernier didn't do their job tonight, and they've not done it all season. If we're going to play a 3 across the middle of the park, and we're going to play 2 wide men, 2 backs like that, you've got to expect those players to take men on. Barisic and Tavernier was on Barisic's side of the park the whole night. He never made a run up that wing. He never took a man on. Barisic never took a man on.
Do you know something, Johnny? Right, I agree they didn't get forward as much as they do in the Premier League. Right, I totally agree with that. But we do not know the instructions that Van Bronckhorst has said to them. maybe just to say, look, we don't want you 2 years bombing on, and all of a sudden with the pace and the wide players
Is that not why you play that system though?
I'll flip it to you now, Gordon, right?
Yeah.
The young man on the other side, Liverpool laddie, Trent Alexander, he's been under massive pressure. Everyone's saying he can't defend. What did he do tonight? He bombed forward all night. He wasn't bothered. Barisic got to the halfway line. He gave the ball away half a dozen times passing backwards. He might as well have gone forward.
The Liverpool right back bombed on all night because they had the ball. It's okay. How many times in the first half, especially possession-wise, did Rangers control the ball? How many times did they control the ball?
Because they were scared. They were scared to do it, and that's
but just don't lay
the
blame it.
A change now. We've spent $5.5 million on a young laddie for Turkey, and I've seen him once against Queen of the South, and I thought more of that. I ken it's Queen of the South, and I'm not comparing him with Liverpool. Far from it. But I saw enough in that game to suggest that laddie's positive. Borna Barisic is fear. He's lost it. He's been like this for a season and a half now. I like the laddie, but he's no.
Well, Johnny, you've got to then question your manager, because your manager's brought him in for the money.
I think that's what he's doing.
Right,
that's the point.
Right. Well, that's just what I'm saying. You've got to question the manager because he's brought him in for the money. He sees him day in, day out in training, and he doesn't get a look in. And it's okay saying, yeah, okay against Queen of South. That's the only thing we've really got to go and judge him with. But the Rangers manager at this moment in time doesn't think he's ready to get into these games. I look at Tillman tonight. I think Tillman's not at the level to get into high pressure games like, say, Celtic, Liverpool, Ajax, Napoli. I know he never played against them, but I don't think he's ready for that stage yet. I think he's a promising young player that will get better and better. But I think even looking at him tonight, he looked frightened. He looked like he was out his depth there. So I think there's time for him. So maybe Van Bronckhorst is looking at Yilmaz in that left back position and think, no, you're not ready to get into this game. I know they've paid big money for him.
Paid big money. He's a Turkish international. I always a bit wary, Mark, if someone just sort of turns on, they think, hold on a minute, are we suggesting that Ridvan Yilmaz plays and that's the difference maker? Far from it. But Johnny's just mentioning a few different talking points, and that when you get a defeat, things like that do get brought into focus, the recruitment and so on. Has he got a point, or are you surprised you've not seen more of Yilmaz? Do you take it from what Gordon's saying? Is he just not doing it in training, or
like he must not be pulling up any trees in training? But I'm surprised that bringing him in, he's not had more a chance. Now, I'm not as much a fan as Gordon is Barisic. I think sometimes in big games, if some things go against him, he goes under. I even thought on Saturday against Hearts, I thought there was a period that if Hearts got on top of the game, he was really struggling, and Rangers got the goals at the right time that alleviated the pressure a wee bit. But funny enough, tonight I didn't think, Johnny's point, I didn't think Barisic was by far the worst tonight. I can remember once he went down the line and
was he too tentative? I think that's Johnny's point. Maybe. Rather than saying he had a terrible game, just more that
maybe
not ambitious enough.
Perhaps, but I would then agree with Daz's point. The Rangers fullbacks have been so effective when they get to the final third. Rangers didn't play a game plan that allowed them to get anywhere near there. I think Barisic once, and he chipped it into Alisson's hands, and I can't remember Tavernier really getting up there. So Yilmaz must get his chance sometime, but if that's going to be anytime soon, I don't know if it looks likely.
Well, here you are, Johnny. Here's your manager's response. He's been asked obviously about the back five and so on, and defends it up to a point.
Well, we knew it's going to be a very difficult game. We know their attacking threat they had, with players, making runs almost every time they have the ball and have the space. So I think for us, the option to play with five in the back, I think was a good one to narrow those spaces. Of course, it's going to be difficult because they have the quality to play with high speed, with quick passing and quick switch of plays. I think in the first half we were still in halftime. Was only one goal difference, so I think we identified the moments much better in the second half to go high up the pitch and give pressure to them. I think those moments was far better than the first half and more frequently. Of course, always disappointing to lose 2 goals out of set pieces. One free kick we took really, really well, and of course the penalty. I think we had some chances to make it 2-1. One ball was cleared from the line. I think Antoni had a chance. He should have taken the shot earlier, and maybe we get something more out of the game. But I think we improved in the way we played in Champions League comparing to the first game. But the level we face is very high, and the level we had today wasn't good enough to get something out of the game. We always have the belief. I saw that in my players. It's a level, I think, especially the first half, we made too many mistakes in our passing and also like in our technical first touches. I think you knew that the pressure was there. We did much better the second half. Of course, we had the belief. It's always starts with belief, and we were still in the game in halftime. And before we were already first half we were already out of the game. We played really well against Napoli, and only after the red card, had it difficult. Don't forget the opposition we're playing, because everyone's thinking, okay, it's Liverpool, they're out of form, it's going to be an easy game. Well, you see today the level they can reach, and we prepared the game for the level we face today, and that's it.
Briefly, Johnny, we're a bit late for the break, but having listened to the manager, do you agree with what he's saying?
Absolutely not. He played 5 across the middle. He's got 2 wing backs playing there. They never put a ball in all night. He needs to freshen that up. He needs to drop his captain. He needs a new captain in there. He needs someone that can play that side of the park. He needs to give this Turkish laddie a chance, a couple of games, because see, when it comes to the big games, they two are miles off it. They're miles off it.
Thank you, Johnny. We'll leave it there. That was Johnny in Stirling, and we'll take more of your calls next.
Rangers and Celtic in Europe's big league. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Into the final part of tonight's Clyde One Super Scoreboard. Gordon Dalziel and Mark Wilson are here, looking back on all the 2-0 defeat for Rangers on the night. We heard from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst there. He wasn't too down about it. What did you make of his assessment, Rangers fans? Did it match yours? Here's what David in Bridge of Weir made of it. David?
Yeah, I suppose a bit anticlimactic. I thought the minute we realised we were playing Morelos from the get-go, I just kind of expected, I don't know, I just felt a little bit gutted from the outset. I felt like from the first half, every time we had the ball, we were doing the usual, get past the halfway line, and then just, I don't know, we weren't stringing 2 or 3 passes together at all, which was quite frustrating. And then, in contrast to when Matondo came on towards the end, you could see, sparks of movement. So I think overall, when I was speaking to the producer earlier on, I'm thinking the Ibrox factor is probably going to have to bring something into it. But yeah, overall tonight, I just felt that we just weren't holding the ball long enough.
Yeah, it was the big talking point before the game about Morelos playing. Does his performance deserve criticism, or did he have no real chance of putting in a good performance, or what, somewhere in the middle?
His service was always going to be limited tonight, just with the way the game went. At Anfield, Liverpool control possession. But I did think there was times that he could have done better. I think there is times that Morelos in the past gets a hold of things, brings others into play. I thought a couple of times in the first half he was shrugged off things too easy by Matip. I thought even in the second half, did we even see him in the second half doing anything before he was replaced? The one near the edge of the box in the first half, where I thought usually you see Morelos getting his backside into the defender, holding him off. He went down looking for a foul, looking for maybe an easy way out. So yeah, I think there is a level of criticism there, because it was a big call from Van Bronckhorst. Now I don't know if Čolak would have done better. Maybe not, because we've never seen that side of him.
I would sum up simply for me. I don't think the 2 centre backs of Liverpool will have an easier 60, 70 minutes, whatever Morelos was on. I thought they were in total control of him. Yes, I feel sorry for him, because as a centre forward, it's got to be the right service. But even when it was the right service,
here's the thing,
it's too easy for
apparently him. For him though, he's meant to be able to carve out not necessarily even chances for himself, but that was the idea of playing him, is that he doesn't need the direct service that Antonio Čolak gets. Why, Mark, were Rangers unable to put him in a channel even once?
Yeah.
Is that something tactical? It might be. I don't know. Are Liverpool that sophisticated? But not a single, unless I'm wrong, any time in 90 minutes where you just put a ball into even just a corner.
I don't think
and
you're
have
wrong.
him go and try and
how many times have we seen Rangers doing that, particularly away from home in Europe and some against some decent teams where they just hang the ball up there, he runs, he harasses defenders and he gets something, whether it's a throw in or a corner. But you're right, there wasn't one time, I don't think, in that first half particularly, that Rangers turned Liverpool or asked a question. Now I mentioned that it could have been wise to do it in Kent's side, where Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't like turning and running back, and Kent is full of pace, but they never did. They never even tried it for a couple of minutes. Every time they got the ball, they try to play it through their midfield. Now you could argue that's why Davis then and Tillman was in the side, because that was their game plan. Well, if that was a game plan, it certainly didn't work. It backfired. Then it leads you to think, well, why not change it at half time? So there's many things that you can pick apart in that argument. I would say that I'd be surprised if Morelos starts next week's game at Ibrox.
I don't think he's at the level of fitness to play in games like this.
You keep saying that though. I mean, we're in October.
Hold on. What I'm going to say is, how many competitive games since the start of the season has Morelos played?
Enough.
How many games?
I couldn't tell you, but he's played enough games to be fit. How many training sessions has he had?
Yeah, there's got to be a difference between. Fine, everyone can say fine, he might not be at the peak of his powers, but he played 75 minutes tonight at Champions League level. He played 30 minutes at the weekend. He also started a Champions League game and played 70 minutes nearly a month ago. Come on, he must be fit.
I don't know. Look, I'm saying he's not at his level to go out there and tackle the two centre halves.
Right. What is that though? He might never be able to do that. It's Virgil van Dijk.
I think if he's got better sharpness, better fitness in him, he's got a better opportunity, right? I just think that Morelos was
how much better can his fitness get, is what Mark was asking.
I think he can get a lot better.
But it's never going to. If he's not fit just now, and you keep saying I don't think he's up to fitness,
such an easy cop out with him though, is it not?
I think Morelos either needs to stick or twist with Morelos. He has to. For instance, we'll go St Mirren at the weekend. Čolak will probably start, right? I think in fact the last one, Napoli, and the Saturday against Dundee United, Čolak started, scored 2 goals. Rangers had a poor performance. Morelos never even come on the park, right? Now I think Morelos, I'm with you in the sense I think he offered nothing tonight.
Well, here's the point then, right? If on Wednesday the 14th of September you start a Champions League game, and then on the 4th of October, if you are right and he's not fully fit, then he's been mismanaged. Must have been.
But they're playing him for these big games for a reason, Gordon, because what they're trying to do is they know they're coming under pressure. They need to get up the pack.
Well, listen, and right? I get all that, but I'll repeat it once more.
Is the best
if he can start a Champions League game 14th September, start another 4th of October, and he's not fully fit, he's being mismanaged. Must be.
Yeah, the argument for that, you don't play
that's what I'm saying.
You don't play a player that isn't fully fit when you've got a player in the same position scoring every week.
Why do you play him the Wednesday against Napoli, your biggest game out, in the Champions League?
That was his first game back, but it was also a month ago, nearly 3 weeks. I don't know why you're ignoring this passage of time as if it's not happened.
So you play him then, and you don't even give him minutes in the Saturday.
So that's my point. Is that mismanagement? You'll answer it eventually.
Do I think it's mismanagement? I just think it's the case of he plays Morelos for a certain game to try and hold the ball when he's up against better opposition.
But you still keep saying he's not fit.
I don't think he's at his sharpest, no, 100%. And if you're telling me he is, then I think you're kidding yourself on.
Not the most convincing argument I've heard. David, quickly, you said the Ibrox factor. You're still optimistic about next week, even though that was tough tonight?
Yeah, look, listen, it's rinse and repeat from every other Rangers fan that comes on here, and we talk about the Ibrox factor, but in real terms, the Ibrox factor, it is an extra man on the pitch. If Čolak started tonight, would we have had a different result? In my opinion, no, it wasn't the right game. I think the issue came from midfield. Midfield were too passive. We couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. I'm just feeling that next week, hopefully, we just get a bit of oomph behind us. Who starts? Do you know something? I think if we can get the service in from the midfield, I have no qualms with Čolak starting.
Okay, David, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much. You'll be the final caller of the evening. You'll have plenty of time to react tomorrow, and in fact the early kick-off tomorrow as well. RB Leipzig up against Celtic in the company of Marvin Bartley and Stephen McGowan. So looking forward to taking that game in tomorrow. There will be a lot more said about Rangers' result tonight. It wasn't enough on the evening. Come up against a very good opponent and lost 2-0 at Anfield. Elsewhere in the group, Ajax were battered at home by Napoli as well. So going to be an interesting couple of weeks ahead in Rangers group. We will see you tomorrow at 6, and Amber is up next.
Clyde One's Super Scoreboard podcast with Taggart's Volvo, part of the Lookers family. Search online, order and choose home delivery or collection with Click and Drive.